you'll never catch me. Damn, whole lot of yes I am. All the way in with no exit plan. Already left and the jet don't land. Yeah, the time is ticking. Come take a ride, get inside. This is highly different. I'm talking fly, got a pilot with him. Can I mind my business? Why you tripping? Give you something that your eyes can witness. Ooh, you too close. I don't understand why you're doing the most. You can love it, you can leave it. They're saying nothing without it. Don't let them keep you down. What if I don't need it? There's something about it that just freaks me out. I just want another minute with it. Fuck a little, what's the use? What's the use? Never superficial, you won't know it when it hits you. Get a little sentimental when I'm off the juice. Well, I'ma give you what you came for. Yeah, should I work too hard to have a clue who you are? Set the bar so far, but Paul, we could parlay all day. Crib long range with the yard. I know I should probably pray more, but you gotta love me. Cause I say that they spend money. When I had nothing, shit, it wasn't so funny. Made a promise to the homies, nobody go hungry. Look how far we came. Still they throwing dirt on my name, but it never worried my brain. Heads turning like a hurricane, swerving till the sun get up out of my shade. They don't get the picture, cut them out of that frame. Shit, I'm up 30,000 miles plus change. It's been a while, but I'm down till I'm out. And it is what it is till it ain't. They're saying nothing without it. Don't let them keep you down. What if I don't need it? There's something about it that just freaks me out. I just want another minute with it. Fuck a little, what's the use? What's the use? Never superficial, you won't know when it hits you. Get a little sentimental when I'm off the juice. You can love it. It just freaks me out.
You might present for the report.
What's good, YouTube? We're gonna be back. We get the TikTok going here soon. Appreciate you guys. Uh-huh. Alright, we're on the YouTube now. Bear with me. Yeah, I think we do got a lot of that AC thing coming in. So we're going to mute that in between me talking. Hold on 1 second. Let's do that now. We're going to get more flattened globies in here. Let's do it. And they always start, all you guys can say this year, or as summer's winding down, right? And me doing this the last few months, all y'all have got is, you're not qualified, you're projecting. You don't understand, but you're not opposing what I'm saying. You don't even try to word salad anything. You're just denying it and saying you don't understand how it works. That's just a deflection and an avoidance term that's normally forbidden in here. You don't get to say that in my life because that's avoiding a comeback. You don't understand what that sadistic, what is it, that laugh, that fake ass shit. This guy's an idiot, like my beliefs are being challenged. This is not supposed to happen. I don't want to hear it. You don't understand, right? Because it's going in one ear and out the other. You're not allowing yourself to comprehend and listen to what I'm saying, or you wouldn't say that. Let's try one. Let's see what we got here.
Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, can you hear me okay over this background noise?
Yeah. I was just wondering how with the northern stars and southern stars, how that works on a flat earth.
Well, we've always had one uniform star rotation on the astrolabe, the star map, the astrology wheel, and planetariums. Likewise, you go to the equator, and people will tell you all on TikTok that there's two opposite star rotations, but at the equator 360 time lapse, you don't see that. You see them going one direction, barrel rolling in the sky, and it's due to your position. If you face south, they're going to go left to right. If you face north, they're going to go right to left. Just like if a car goes the same direction, but you change the sides of the road that you're watching the car on, the car didn't change directions, you did. So no, it's the observer changing directions. We have one uniform star rotation. The dome of our vision makes it look like it's barrel rolling instead of going around Gleason, or like a planetarium style, due to our perspective.
Okay, I guess I don't really understand that. I'm just trying to educate myself more on this flat earth stuff, but...
Right, so they would say that it should be like the astrolabe or the astrology wheel we've seen as a kid in regards to like the horoscope. It goes over the Gleason flat earth map. And that's how it should just be, a horizontal rotation. But the sky, the sun, your street lamp, everything in a circular out in the distance is ramping down, up and down, or the sky, sorry, is ramping down and the ground is ramping up. It makes a circle, and then it appeared to barrel roll or curve in a dome-like shape. That's called the dome of your vision. Stellarium that the globe people use, you have that in their model. That's what stellarium shows, your azimuthal grid of vision. So that's why they're going to try to get you and say that no, it's curving over the horizontal like you would over the earth, but the dome of your vision is an optical phenomenon personal to each person, and it moves with you. Neil deGrasse, real quick, on a globe says that it's refracting up to eye level and not appearing to not curve to look like a flat disc baseline for this dome of your vision. They have yet to prove that since light refracts downward. I'm not aware of it refracting upward. So I don't know how else to explain it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just seen that on the northern hemisphere it goes counterclockwise, and on the southern hemisphere it goes like weird, some weird. It goes clockwise, but kind of at a weird angle or something.
Yep. They claim it's going two different directions, and even some flat earthers, I think, claim you see a line looking straight vertical at the equator, and like one eye they'll be going one way. That's not true. I've never seen that with any of the time lapses I've watched at the equator and reports of people that I know that are down there. So I can't agree with that until I have evidence. But it does appear to look like a horizontal barrel roll, or like it's ramping over the vertical, but the skies all do that too. And that's, yeah, your eyes being a sphere with a dome in front of your actual, like where the light comes in, it kind of does the fisheye effect in the sky at the vertical. If that makes sense.
Okay. Alright, well, thank you for your time.
Yes, sir. I appreciate any other questions. I'll be happy to try to answer it the best that I can. I don't know how else to explain that. But you have the dome of your vision phenomenon, and you got linear perspective and in all directions. Neil deGrasse Tyson, the famous gravity glober. We don't know what gravity is, but we can measure it. That's an oxymoron. If you measure it, then you kind of know what it is. But either way, he said that it's cookie cut out of a sphere, but it refraction comes into play, and it goes to eye level and looks like a flat disk like we have in stellarium. So stellarium shows your grid of vision and how your eyes work, and there's globies that agree with that, and there's others that just outright deny it because we pointed that out. What's up, Flatwalker? Appreciate everybody. Dude was genuinely had some questions, and the other guy that wanted in left. Anyone else want to come up? I'm going to mute in between me talking because this AC is about to shut off soon. And then all we'll hear is the Sarcadus. Sorry, folks. I got to do it out back. Appreciate the likes and the shares. I don't know, the YouTube's blowing up. If your people spamming comments and in the live chat, that people are watching it afterwards too. It's measured flat. Make sure y'all hitting that hard on YouTube in the live chat. You can hard or do a couple emojis. And just tap, tap, tap like you would on TikTok. I appreciate everybody. Big salute to Loot. I don't know, I'm always reminded of when you made Dr. Blitz glitch, and he just deflected to how does poop work. So now every time I see him, I play the Kanye. Poop diddy scoop scoop. Big salute. Someone else glitched out the other day, and they were like broken too. I think Baron's broken. I think we finally broke Baron. So anyway, I'm willing to main stage debate his ass for real money. He keeps throwing money. I'm going to do like 20 racks. Bottom number, 10 racks. Like, come on, folks. If you want to go higher, fine, but I either don't want to do it at all. I mean, I either just want to do it and get a concession, or if you want to do money, I want to do some real money. I don't want to do no money at all, or I want to do some real money. I don't want to take nobody's their tax returns. I ain't trying to do that to nobody. You know what I'm saying? But Baron always throws money around there, and now I'm willing to put money on it. I got him to admit 2 weeks ago, finally to go, he's like, it is a measurement, you don't understand. I was like, you're injecting it after and saying that it's wrong, and you're not admitting that, even though your manual says it. You just said error like the manual says, and then you started correcting for it. Finally, he said, we have to do, after crashing out, he come back and said, we have to do it like that, DJ. We have to assume the instrument's wrong 90% of the time, DJ. You don't understand, DJ. Finally, he agreed with me. That's wrong, but he agreed with me. That's what they're doing. Oh, schizophrenic. And you got Rabbi in your name. How schizophrenic am I, right? We're not allowed to talk about conspiracies like that. That'll get us removed. Yes, there's a rabbit hole to that too. A lot of them were the ones that were actually aware, and they were called nuts. They couldn't handle it. Some of them remembered their past lives, and maybe not as vaccinated as much, or maybe too much. But the point is, I know people that were like that. They got accused of that. Once they accepted what it was and that the world wasn't ready for it yet, they grew out of it, right? And now the world's fucking 90% of it's schizo, if you ask me, by y'all's definitions of it. We're all aware. We're all screaming and begging y'all to quit supporting the Epstein type. Anyway, it's whatever. Appreciate it. He agrees with me. Some of the chat agrees with me. You know what I'm saying? Big dude, big salute. You're welcome up. But come on, man. On both models, we have things that we should agree on, and we're not. So I'm willing to have a conversation, but today I feel like the universe is telling me to like only focus on the topics that they think is conclusive to one model or the other, and prove that it would work on both models, that it's not single-hand globe-proof, flat-proof, or proof against flat, when y'all straw man flat earth. So yeah, I think that's what we should do today, folks. Let's focus on that. The earth is flat and stationary. We don't measure any motion. It's not 93 million miles away if it's got local hotspots and crepuscular rays, like your street lamps. Theories aren't facts. And how is it not a load? We came from nothing in the Bible. The Big Bang says we came from nothing. So we agree. Why are we fighting on this fact like it's two different things? You can cartoon whatever, but the thing is, you don't know, and we don't know. We didn't see it happen. So we're both just illustrating realistic fan fiction here, or whatever. Whatever you want to call it right now. But the point is, we both came from nothing. You need to stop fighting that. And I don't believe that. I think they said you came from nothing, and they rewrit the religion to make it think that we came from nothing. I think we've always been here. Nothing new under the sun. Maybe there was a beginning, but we don't know. It's further back than we can think. So anyway, if anybody got proof of their religion, that the earth is spinning, come up in the box. This is 100% a religious belief in the globe at this point, when the majority of the world knows flat earth is observable. Whether it's real, we observe it to be flat. The English language is a flat earth language. So anyway, folks, am I triggering you yet? Come in the box. I do work. This is my job. And not only that, I run a radio station. That's why my computer's in my lap. Remote desktop. I don't have to be in there. Trying to get a low power license. And we wholesale houses. I just got a property for $100 that I'm moving on for the radio station. $100. I don't need a job. Why? So I can pay a mortgage, $500,000. Maybe 10 years later I'll pay it off, but it keeps going up and up and up and up and up. That'll never happen. Ben Shapiro said we don't need a retirement. We don't need to be able to pay off our mortgages. If you can't afford to live in your city, you need to leave. I just got 2 lots on one parcel for $100 here in America, and I need a job for what? When 100 volts per meter, the atmosphere is charged, earth batteries exist, solar exists, wind exists. I can drill a well and collect water out of the sky with one of those machines, or just collecting it when it rains. And I need a job for what? I want to live life. That's not living. I live. That's slavery with extra steps. Like we can. That's just slavery with extra steps. That's just slavery with extra steps. You don't see the hypocrisy here, Rick? Like, come on. You not see that episode? Teenyverse inside a Teenyverse? Yeah. This little dome could be somebody's fucking science project powering their house, dude, inside their pond. And we're powering that shit. That could be the aliens that that they talk about. The interdimensional Egyptians that harvest our energy. That mine all our stuff. It's probably them. They break down, come in here like Rick. Just a different way of explaining it. It's a work day, right? It's a work day. I work every day. I work on the weekends. I get up and move. That's my job. This is my job, to wake people up. Jesus never said to have a job. Jesus never came to be worshipped. Jesus came to tell you who you was, remind you who you are. Not the Pharisees are the ones telling you need to go to work. The ones that never worked, they've never worked in their life. The generations have never worked for hundreds of years, but yet they're telling you have to go to work and get you conditioned to say something like that. Come on, folks. I'm not saying a job's bad. There is discipline and hard work. People need to know how to build houses. People need to know how to plant gardens. But there's a lot of stupid jobs out here that we don't need that's destroying the environment. And this idea that you have to do it is ridiculous. I'm proving you don't. So let's go. I make money. I don't need to go to jail. I make money from my computer. Printer paper makes me money. Am I okay? Oh, I'm good. Perfect. So when you say language like that, you're trolling. You guys have nothing at all. You deny evidence. You don't have to have evidence on the globe model. So I don't have to have that, what you're asking on a flat model, until you provide it. The burden of proof is on you. We've provided it. Terrariums exist. The Antikythera mechanism exists. The Gleason map exists. The astrology wheel fits on top of the Gleason map. Planetariums exist. NASA planetariums, throughout all history, they've said one uniform star rotation. There is no two rotations. The 360 time maps at the equator debunks that. The dome of your vision is used on stellarium. Yeah, it is the working model. You live in it. That's a strong or stupid. That's a straw man. You live in the working model. The globe is yet to be proven. Terrariums have a vertical gradient. So I can replicate flat Earth. You guys can't. Only thing is I need a local sun inside my terrarium so it's hot at the bottom and not the top. The globe, and that disproves the sun outside the dome on the flat Earth, in my opinion, but I don't know. But it definitely disproves the sun 93 million miles away above. That's if you got the mountaintops froze and it warmed down beneath, just like my terrarium. The top part's hot because the sun's above it. If it was below and smaller, the only way it would work to heat the bottom and not the top. So that single-handedly debunks you guys. Assuming flat Earth, you live in it. We've replicated it, and you're assuming anything but what we've been describing as the model, right? A straw man version of flat Earth. And you're gonna go, nuh-uh, it should work like this, right? I'm calling it out before it happens. If you're claiming you're not even doing it right now, that's what you got to do. Is like you need evidence. There's nothing but evidence. Geodesy treats it as measured flat. What are you talking about? The total stations measure it flat. The buoys measure it flat. The raw data is a straight line, and then you guys start claiming curvature. Oh, let's go back to the Discover from last night. Look it up, and just like Nikons, they show zero. The zeros and ones. They don't show color. They give you a blank black reading. Zeros and ones, right? Not a picture to show it, but zeros and ones. But yet, when the camera is doing it, when the Nikon camera is doing it, it's deleting the stars. But when the Discover closer to the stars is doing it, it's not deleting the stars. They have no explanation. It couldn't say that. It couldn't say straight up that, well, this one's deleting the stars too. It said this is stupid to claim they're the same thing. So anyway, back to the Discover versus the camera. That guy last night didn't know what he was talking about. We do have a working model. It's black in between the stars. You guys can't prove without animating the space parts from blackness. You get a black zero reading, total dark, in parentheses. And you're going to tell me that the sky should be illuminated like it should be illuminated all night. All throughout, no black spots in between. I just can't see it. Flat mountains? I mean, there could be plateaus. What's the other ones that we have? Mesas? Bald Butte, so lofty and so high. Bury me in Bald Butte, or the plain wrapped round sky. Or whatever. Howard says. that not a flat mountain, pretty much? I mean, technically, Bayou, right? But, ball people when I die. Oh, I didn't see you. No, nobody's requested. A McMuffin guy left and didn't say anything in the comments to get my attention. I diverted from reading that thing to reading the comments. Oh, well, there we go. Yeah, globe explaining is not allowed. Science is allowed. What's good?
Hey DJ, how's it going?
Pretty good. Yeah.
Hold on, let
Do
me
you
turn off my
disagree with?
Bluetooth.
Oh, you're a flat earther, that's right. Here in a minute, this AC thing will quit outside and you'll hear me better. I'll mute up. I got a warning.
I had to turn my Bluetooth off.
You're good, bro.
So why don't you guys come up on the panel if you guys have stuff to talk about? It's a whole lot easier, don't you think?
Yep.
So is your discussion just about everything today, or?
I guess like whatever's allowed on this app. You know, if the no globers come up, then wherever the conversation goes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not an expert on either models or whatever. I've always believed it was flat, and just recently started looking into the different models and stuff. One thing I have thought of was like concavers have a model they think that works. The globe has a model that they think that works, but they both are very flawed. It's, you know, it's like a reverse engineered thing. It's like first they come up with the globe and then they change everything and put band-aids on everything, and it's not really thought out or planned out. You know what I mean? So I mean, like, nothing's really proven.
Yep. And if it was, I feel like there would be everyday applications that don't neglect those ideas. They talk about them all the time in these documents, but they say when we go outside, we don't measure it, so we neglect it. We use the raw data that shows a flat thing. So yep, I don't get why we got all this buffet now. There's cubed earth too. That one's a new one.
Oh yeah. They're going to come up with all kinds of different theories, but that's all it is. I mean, a true flat earther doesn't claim any model. You know what I mean? It's just like what we can prove. That's what we believe.
Well, just like a terrarium, they have vertical gradients. You can Google it. Does a terrarium have a vertical gradient?
Yeah, that works. That's a good model right there. But I mean, that's scaling it down. You know, that's all. I mean, we do live in a big, huge terrarium. And everything works the way it works in a terrarium, doesn't it?
Sorry, talking while muted. Yeah, and they said their only op to that is that it's Earth too big, that size makes things do the opposite, and it can do the opposite of a terrarium if it's big enough. I'm like, what? That's their only comeback to this. They always run from the terrarium science because you can't get condensation without a glass wall to condensate on. So
another thing that gets me is that we've only researched, explored 5% of the oceans, and here we are listening to them tell us about, you know, galaxies far, far away. It's like
the world.
It's just crazy to think that people would believe that. Like, look what's going on here on Earth, man. That's something you can touch, feel, something. This is real. Outer space is not real. It's all mental gymnastics, man, and they can change it anytime they want.
Yeah, I think they need to agree if NASA said a glass wall in the Van Allen belts that bounced them off like a trampoline and they can't get through, molecules aren't getting through, and we have a glass-like terrarium, that maybe we have something in common, keeping the air pressure, but they just can't agree with a flat earther because it's just like everything they stand for is we're supposed to be dumb and they're not. But like we have to concede on that fact because NASA said that in 2014 and there hasn't been nothing against it since that I can find.
I don't think flat earthers or globers are dumb. I just think they've been indoctrinated. It's like they're not free thinkers anymore. You know, they don't use any critical thinking, and they just take and hold on to what they were taught when they were children. They just hold on to it, and rather than because it would shatter their whole world, I guess, you know.
Well, I'll give you a secret here. Like I'm always low key hoping that one day that I find a rock in the woods and I'm chosen to be a Power Ranger or something, and nobody knows. Like you never know. It might have happened already, but I still got that in the back of my head, like 0.001% of hope. Hey, maybe one day something like that will be invented, and they'll pick me. But I don't know kung fu or martial arts. All the acting script, they say you got to know martial arts to get the job for the movie. But I don't know.
Not really.
Not really these days, but like, yeah, that's crazy though. I'm down. Hey, if that's really a thing, Power Rangers, I'll sign up.
I think everything's going AI anyway, so.
Yeah. Oh, you know what my mom said? She just got a job where she's like training the AI to replace her pretty much. I got to input and tell the AI how to be me. Like, so pretty much to replace. Oh, yeah, I guess to replace me. I didn't think of it. I'm like, fuck. How did you not? They better be paying good. For that, they need to pay off the house. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I think I would trust somebody who would fight to the death.
A lot of things like the sky.
Yeah. Just say, I don't know. That's the honest answer.
Yep, I don't know the size. I don't know this. I don't know what the sky is made of or the firmament's made of, but I just know it's described, and that's what we all call it, and we have nothing against it. There's a bunch of documents on the military. So I'm going to call it what they call it. And other than that, unless they have science that I don't, I can't say. You know what I'm saying? And that should be for both models. You have a barrier, too, that you're not agreeing to, that you're denying. And
that's like the sun, moon, and stars, all that. We really can't science them. We just have to trust whatever they tell us. It's like,
yeah,
I don't trust them.
Or what we can see, and which is not always accurate at all.
I'd rather go by what I observe.
Exactly. Like I observed the new moon right behind the sun, that April 8th eclipse. They were next to each other, and this black thing came from Baja, Mexico, up to New York, separate from that on my sky map and on the mainstream news. So what's this black thing? That's what I observed, but they're telling me that it's just these two objects that aren't that far from each other. They're actually next to each other. I think there was a third object, but I don't know.
Yeah. Like the black sun or something. Like
could be something. Black hole sun.
Or it could just be like dark matter or something that just something that's blocking the light.
Yep, I just know it's not the Earth or the Moon. It's got to be a third object, and we should find out what it is instead of fighting each other on it. Because you guys are smart, we're smart. You got a degree, you got equipment, you got more money than me. A lot of these people, these NASA people that come on here. So outside of your job, unless it's an NDA, you should be able to do your own research and talk about it. Unless you sign an agreement. I talk to physicists all the time. They say they sign these agreements weekly sometimes. Or every time they go in a national laboratory, they'll go home and they'll come back the next day and they'll have to probably sign something for the same experience or whatever experiment. But who knows? Not always the case. There's other people that have come out and talked about the flat Earth that have these credentials. So I don't know how true that is.
Well, we know, like astrology, and we know that we've mapped the stars and all that. Constellations, they've never changed, and it's like a perfect time clock. It's like nothing's changed. We know the seasons. We know the time. We know, what I mean. It's like we all knew this before the globe.
Halley's Comet comes back again and again and again.
I trust that.
Exactly. I mean, you can map that. You can predict that. You can observe that. You know when it's going to happen. The globe is not doing all these weird things. Oh, it's going to slow down and spin backwards. Prove that. I feel like you're just going to say, well, it didn't spin backwards. Now there's no motion. We knew the whole time. Our data came in too late, so it actually stopped spinning 100 years ago. We were just late, and they're going to do that when they finally admit there's no motion. But like, just come on with it. We found this out first. We made this mainstream debate now, and they're debating in all schools all across America, even high schoolers debating their teachers, and the whole grades are convinced. Your parents all the time getting called to school. All right, the whole 8th grade or 9th grade's flat earthers now. What the fuck is going on, dude? We can't have this. And it's like, because they're not buying it. When you actually sit down and have a conversation and point out one thing, they're like, that's stupid. Like a kid. But you know what I mean? But even they get it way than.
Well, they're like a second generation of indoctrination. Like, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah. I mean, they got social media to look at. We didn't have that when I started. So, I had to just believe what they told me. Middle school's when it really got popular. We all started, but it was all bullshit. It wasn't stuff like we're doing now until I was out of high school. I would have loved to know about flat Earth and debate my science teacher. That would have been cool. I would have owned his ass.
I was one of those kids that did that.
Oh, really? How'd that go?
Not very good. I mean, I had one teacher, though, that said I was the smartest kid that she ever knew, but because I would always argue and debate that stuff, especially the first time I ever saw a globe. I was like, I was talking to the whole class to be like, are you guys serious? You guys actually believe this? I couldn't believe that they believed it.
Do I need to be introduced? I've just been here for like a couple minutes. I've been waiting.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you were up there, man. We just got to going ham on this craziness of the globe religion. So we got McMuffin in the chat. Go ahead, brother. What do you got for us?
I mean, like,
in the box.
I don't know anything about space. I'm just going to be honest with that. But like, I mean, doesn't Antarctica just kind of disprove flat Earth?
How does that prove?
No, it doesn't, because all the maps that we use for navigation and flight show a flat disk with a larger circumference in the the TGG or whatever it is, the USGS, all of it uses a flat map system, and just because a globe has something smaller doesn't make it smaller. Of all the history, we've measured a larger circumference. We got more time zones, bigger area of land, more miles when you go across all the land out in the south.
Why do you think it disproves flat Earth?
Well, I mean, you can do a circumnavigation of it through a boat. You can cross over on land straight across the other side.
Of Antarctica? No, you can't. Or what land?
What do you mean? No, you can't. It's been done before.
By who?
There was the famous age of Antarctica. I mean, Ernest Shackleton. And then there's been also just random, rich people doing it for like the past 20 years.
Circumnavigating the shore, or I thought you diverted and said that they went directly over one direction, Antarctica, and out the other side. Just to clarify, no? You just said circumnavigate, right? You didn't...
Yeah, you can circumnavigate. I thought you were referring to overland expeditions, where you just go on one side and cross over.
They get to a point where it's extremely cold, and the pictures they have, they're wearing jackets. They can't even hardly see them. They're holding a rope. No, they're not getting to the other side. The visibility's too bad that far into Antarctica, even if it was a globe. So no, both models, I don't believe that could happen.
And it's awfully suspicious that we can't freely explore that.
I mean, you can. That's the thing.
They can go to Peninsula, but you can't.
It just costs money. If you have money, you can go.
You have to get permits and get approved to go to the peninsula by Deception Island down there by Chile. That's the main spot. That's near where all the cruise ships, the occasional cruise ship that goes down there, goes to as well. There's maybe one other spot, but any further than that, they would debunk it, because that part, the peninsula, comes out, and it can give the appearance of a smaller Antarctic style. It's curving away from you. But the rest of the wall, from all the ships that circumnavigated recently, or even Oliver Tree's expedition, I'm not a flat earther, but I might be after seeing this fucking wall, show it differently, that it curves inland, looking like a Gleason map, like going behind you, wrapping around you, instead of the opposite, away from you. So that peninsula, yeah, cool story, Mo. I don't know.
I mean, there's cruise ships that go to the Ross Sea. You can go inland to the South Pole.
Inland to the South Pole?
Yeah, you can go to the South Pole Station.
Oh, the South Pole Station?
Yeah.
There's no South Pole in a larger circumference. They got a bunch of other stations. And what they're talking about, too, they got all these different spots that line up on the Gleason map. If you put the stations, they're all crammed together. They're in Antarctica, but clearly they're not that close to each other. It's not like the North at all. People that are down there that we've talked to, some are flat earthers, some are not, they agree that it feels like it's larger distance to things here than it would be like Alaska or something going around, when it should be the same. So like from station to station, if they had a way for distance and mileage like we do on the water, like total stations or something, there in Antarctica, they claim it shows that. I don't know what equipment it was, but they claimed that it showed like a larger distance, and that they should, I don't know.
I'm confused what you mean there, because if you're assigned to a station, it's like a ship. You don't just get to leave the station and go to somewhere else, unless you're in the United States Diplomatic Service when you're doing the inspections.
Right, but someone else is somewhere else, and why couldn't you talk to someone else that's stationed somewhere else and couldn't leave and get a reading as part of your research to see the distance between one station to another?
I mean, generally,
like the distance of like in the north, which they
generally the stations won't want you communicating with other countries, dude. I mean, it's like they're ran like ships because they're legacies of all Navy programs. It's just OPSEC.
Well, they have what's called the Antarctic Treaty alone, but they're friends in space in the ISS. They communicate all the time. What are you talking about? The ISS is literally an international. But in Antarctica, you don't think that they would have some kind of international agreement or thing like that?
The ISS was for diplomatic reasons. They did that because it's just to form a cooperation in space. I mean, it doesn't do anything novel, really. It's just for show.
Whatever you say. Oh, well, I think the other's just for show, that we're enemies on Earth. Makes way more sense than they're just pretending to be friends for 5 minutes for money in space, but want to unalive and nuke each other here on the Earth. I don't think so. But likewise, why couldn't it be the same thing in Antarctica? Why couldn't they just...
It's mostly due to missile defenses. The United States primarily didn't want to deal with the potential of having to put good missile defense sites, not the Nike missiles, across all of the southern portion of the United States. It's much cheaper if we only have to worry about Alaska and the Pacific Northwest.
Missile in Alaska. What? Sorry, I thought we diverted from Antarctica to missiles in Alaska.
Well, yeah, that's why there's cooperation in Antarctica, where nobody does anything there besides for stations and tourism.
But you said they don't communicate with each other. I disagree.
Yeah, on science projects, they keep those usually within their own system as it's proprietary research, and they don't want to lose their proprietary research. They communicate with each other on diplomatic functions, yes. I mean, it's as required by the Antarctic Treaty System, but anything beyond that is rare, as ultimately that would be against their nation's interest. I mean, unless it's like the United States and New Zealand because they're right next to each other, then yes, that's an exception. But Chile and Argentina, I mean, they both have overlapping claims, so they're not going to be communicating with each other, for civil purposes when each side claims the other's land. Like, I don't know why they would be communicating with each other.
Because again, it would be for show that they're beefing over the land on Earth, but in space at Antarctica, they're beyond that. Because they have to have the illusion for the people to think that we're fighting, to keep us fighting each other, or at least cheerleading them when they have some kind of conflict. Well, I don't see anybody turning the other into a parking lot because of it, so they got to have some kind of cool. If they're in the same spot, they have to communicate. You can't just be like, it's like going to a school, a football game, or an airport and saying, oh, I don't have to communicate with the other airport guy because that's not me, but we both run this airport. No, you still have to tell Tower, I'm coming in. You still got to tell them what experiment you're doing and get a clearance from the experiment so it doesn't interfere with whatever experiment they got going on. Like if you wanted to nuke the wall.
So Chile is asking Argentina for permission to do experiments in their own station?
Well, do you want to nuke Argentina accidentally? Let's say I wanted to nuke the firmament again and try to get through it since my drills aren't working, at the wall.
Neither of them have, I don't understand I don't know. That's just
That's because you haven't read the part where they've been drilling into it, because y'all don't look into flat Earth. But that was just an example. If I wanted to do that, it could affect the people doing something, and that if I wanted to nuke it, I could accidentally nuke something they got going on. What if they're doing something at that spot? I have to know where they're at. If my project overlaps with something dangerous and they're with dangerous materials, explosives out in a field somewhere, I have to know where the other person is. I have to have that accounting, or we're going to blow each other up. That's just how it is. You know what I mean? Shit's going to go wrong if you don't know what's going on in your environment. And who's there, like on a football team. You got to know what the other team's doing, regardless. Competing or not. You know what they're doing. You're in contact with them. You're friends with them outside of the game a lot of times. When the game's over, I stream football. They all clap each other up and they brag about how this, even when they get their butts whooped. There's other times where people want to whoop each other's ass and they don't act like that. But that's the thing. Real good teams don't have the ego and they can work together outside of main conflict on the main land, I would think. I don't see how this does anything.
I mean, yeah, this is really just two high school football teams going at it. Yep, you're right. You're so right.
Not at all. I'm just saying afterwards they can be friends. So like here, if we got a football match going on or a war going on between two countries, for example, why couldn't their governments just be cool in Antarctica and have an agreement to like, hey, look, not here. Let the people fight each other, but we can hang out here and do science. Right? We have the same agreements. We're doing the same thing, or we have the same land, or whatever it is. Let's just work together on this, because they're not blowing each other up over the land. They're not suing each other. They're not moving the goalpost where you can go, and they're not screaming at each other, hey, dude, get on your side of the line. There's none of that going on, is there? So they have to be cool with each other, right? Like, there's more beef in my neighborhood, my former neighborhood with the HOA than there is these people, and they're the big bad wolf of the Antarctica right now. So, like, I don't see how they're not friends. Where's the argument that they're not cool with each other? Who's saying that? There's a direct quote from people down there saying, oh, we got beef with them. We don't talk to each other. We don't communicate for science or anything other than maybe a diplomatic reason, which is like, I don't know. How do I not make sure I'm not blowing up them and they're not blowing up me? Exactly. Let's talk about flat Earth. Sorry, bro. You want to divert to that, I'll win every time on this semantics, on these little things. When I make a claim, most
of the time. All speculation anyway.
It is.
They're why are we having it? Why are we having this to speculate? Why can't we know what's beyond what's there? Because it's not a conspiracy, man. They keep us from knowledge. They are. It is a conspiracy, I should say. They are working together to keep us from knowledge.
Exactly.
So, I mean, we're the ones that are in the dark. And it's not because we don't want to know. It's like because they won't let us know. And
yeah.
To say that we can freely go there, that's bull crap. I know lots of people that will go there and have the money and resources to go there, but they can't.
Exactly. And Oliver Tree didn't last long after he went. When does Atlantic ever give you clearance to release on your own label when they drop an album and don't release it or whatever? When they flop and they say, we're not going to drop this. They never do that. And then he goes to Antarctica and says the quote, I'm not a flat earther, but I might be after this wall. And then he doesn't last like a few weeks or a month. So, yeah, there's something going on down there, and they don't want people to know. It's so viral now that if we pull up, we might not make it. They're really trying to grasp on straws to prevent from whatever that is, and we're almost to whatever it is. We've almost figured it out.
Look at the other things that are going on. I mean, that's just one thing. I mean, we got these big fires going on in Spokane. Spokane's being burned down. And it's being burnt down just like they did in Paradise and all these other places in Hawaii and stuff. And these blue houses that are blue aren't getting burned down. The trees and the telephone poles and all that is not being burned down, just the homes. And they want to put a data center in there.
I know, I'd be trying to gather all the evidence I can for a court case to prove that it's actually an orchestrated event, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't see why they didn't do that in California. If they do,
they are, and they will.
Because I've studied it, it's pretty clear as day when you got the wood and all the bushes and trees touching the guardrail, but the guardrail itself on the side of the road is melted, but the trees are fine. Like, it should melt the wood. It should ignite the wood.
Yeah.
It almost seems like it was a precision melting, like the heat was focused or the beam. Like you can't. And then you got the occasional footage within the clouds. You'll see it every now and then kind of go through the clouds. Mm-hmm. I don't know. They could be for AI or something, but I think there's a couple. No. Let me rephrase. Tennessee. If y'all all forgot it, everybody, including me, I just remembered it. That RV in the middle of Nashville or wherever with the PA system, evacuate. I'm going to blow. Who warns that they're going to blow somebody up? And then the tower cameras from the TV channel actually picked up the blue light, and the sky turned blue real quick. It went down and then ionized the atmosphere, and then boom. Then this thing went off, and it didn't match a bomb, according to the people that are experts that looked at the site or seen the photos. It didn't match how the debris on the building should look, the angle of impact. So yeah, that was caught right there on camera. So I do think those other ones could have been real. I just didn't verify it. That got scrubbed. So we can see all that and film it and everything. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. I mean, just nothing is as it seems. I mean, everything, like they have false flags and everything else. It's just like, to me, it's like a magician saying, "Look it over here. Don't pay any attention what they're doing over there." I mean, that's how they work. These wars pop up for a reason. They're planned.
Exactly. We don't just decide to hate each other one day. It takes years of indoctrination to get you to turn on, or sometimes overnight of someone revealing themselves, whatever it is, but still, like, when a whole country that used to get along, we had enough for everybody, we're at the point that we're all going to bread lines or buying food. Like, come on, man. That's where I'm like, we need to, they got us. And the only thing we can do is fight for someone else's when we could just be working on our own, or we go and pile in someone else's country instead of fixing our own. It's like, the wind's blowing. The cold wind's blowing. We got to do something. Bill and I said there's nowhere to put our trash. We got to take care of home. There's nowhere to go.
The bottom line is they really don't care about us.
Nope.
I mean,
Michael Jackson was hitting with that song. I didn't get it when I was little, but I feel bad now. He was right. They don't care about us.
no, and they're going to do whatever they're going to do, and they know there's nothing we can do about it. They got us so weak right now in low energy that we don't even get up to fight. We won't even get up to fight about it to stop it.
All we got to do, I think we can do it overnight, or at least within a week. We just can't go back home like we did on January 6th. We should have just permanently stayed there until the bills got hard, and then said, hey, look, I can't even pay the bills because you guys won't budge. Here we go. And then sue them for taking their home. Like we're in an active protest. I feel like there's case law there, but I don't know.
Well, they're going for total control.
Yeah, like we can't even I don't know. It's just weird. It's like there's not a group of people trying to control the world, but then they have like international congresses outside of our government where they leave our government and go to this bigger, what appears to be a government, but it's not somehow. And they have a government style meeting that affects where all the other governments, even if they're technically still their own government, agree with this bigger government and say, yes, sir, we're going to do this as a collective. And it's like, you can't even deny it. It's semantic all you want. A kid's going to go, it sounds like the same thing, just with extra mental gymnastics to make it appear slightly different or less dangerous than what it actually is. There's
no land shortage. There's no resources shortage. There's no like water and food and all that. No, they are creating all of this.
Yep.
To control us. They want total control. And all this, we need to give up our rights to protect our sovereignty and all that, and keep the terrorists out and all this, and so let's give up more human rights and let's get these IDs and stuff, and let's make it so they can't buy and sell and take part in society if they're here illegally. So everybody's going to get their IDs. I mean, it's all about control, man. They're creating the problems to move their agenda.
Exactly. And throughout all history, and even on my emoji, there's always a depiction of these people being behind it. It's just weird. The giant nosed red apple people. I don't know who they are. I'm trying to learn, but if anybody wants, it always seems to go back to this depiction. If you can enlighten me who that is today, like that would be great. But apparently we're not allowed to talk about it. But I just don't get it. It's just very simple and it's very in front of your face. I feel like on this app, there's hundreds of them left in denial. I think we've gotten a lot of Globers, believe it or not, agree on every other topic, or a lot of it. I didn't even think he was a real person. Real quick, Truth Bomb, Average Ape, Vietnamese Bot, whatever he goes by today, multiple accounts now. He always goes, I'm a civil engineer, I need to be a mod, I don't come up, you're wrong, and that's about it. But I've watched him. He agrees everything else we talk about. He agrees with even the Middle East thing being a G-side. He agrees with all that. And he agrees that they faked some of the moon landing, I believe. And a lot of Globers will say, yeah, I'll run into people co-hosting to go, I faked them. Yeah, the moon landing's fake, but it's definitely not flat. So you're almost there, but what's stopping y'all? Right? Like, why is it flat earth and dragons being the hardest?
It's that indoctrination, man. They put that out there as psyop. They put out that flat pancake, and they say that's the flat earth. And nobody believes that. But that image is in everybody's mind.
Y'all welcome up. Y'all want to come up, Katie, whoever else. any other Globers want to give it a try. But yeah, exactly. It's just like I just didn't think that like, because I woke up to everything else before Flat Earth, and it's like, man, Flat Earth's the one we're stuck on. All this other crazy crap I learned before Flat Earth, and it's like Flat Earth and dragons are the hardest one for you guys. Damn, I don't think I don't really think, because some of them they were everything else then Flat Earth, and a lot of people it's Flat Earth before other conspiracies. So I think those people are probably the Flat Earth before the other conspiracies. That's their first true dose of a conspiracy and actually analyzing and back and forth and looking at it and taking it in. So that could be why they do that, but I don't know. It's just like, come on, man.
Well, like, what do you think of Flat Earth Society? I mean, it's controlled opposition. They want division, man. That's how they win.
Well, I found out years ago, and you probably have all seen it now, that there was a Flat Earth Society in the 1800s that had the same control opposition style rhetoric.
Same game plan, man. They have the same game plan. It's always been that way. Divide and conquer.
Mayo and mustard. No. Chevy and Ford. Oh. Red team versus the blue team. The Patriots are going to win. No, the Patriots suck now because they don't have one dude.
Yeah.
And the Yankees have become the Dallas Cowboys of the MLB, I guess. I don't know. Like, we ought to just, like, you know, we don't give a shit rubbing up but the tie. There's some people that still, like, rooting and tooting about that. You know, I'll go to a football game every now and then, but it ain't that serious. I ain't squaring up over it. I ain't betting money over it no more. I know what it is. But it's like, tribalism is everywhere, and it's just like, we teach it to our kids. They're watching it all throughout a kid, and it's just this normal thing that we want to instantly divert into a defense.
It's distractions, man. They don't want us. They don't want us coming together and actually sitting and having a real discussion about these things and being on the same team. I mean,
yeah, we're close though, 70% plus. I mean, you know, they're awake that we're probably 80% or more on all the others, but Flat Earth 70%. It was 60% Globy before COVID, right? When Neil got asked that by Joe Rogan and he did that eye roll like he wasn't doing his job, like, I'm fired. Shit. You know that? Oh shit, I'm busted. 60% only believed it. 63%, whatever it was, and it's like that was 10 years ago or whatever. I don't know. It's been a while.
They want a 50-50, man. That's you look at as Democratic and Republican, we're right down the center, man, where they can't do anything because that's right. We're right where they want us, man. 50-50. Where it's only, you know, it comes down to one vote. And so they got everybody right where they want them.
Talking while muted. Well, this is an old thing. I updated the website. It looks different than that. Or, I don't know. But these right to travel acts, I hope it's not 50-50. We kind of need a majority on this. Everybody, even regular, you need a license. But damn, I hate paying all these fees. I hate having to go down there. I forget and they give me a ticket. Regular people. Because I'm working all the time. Well, you won't have to do any of that. If your license gets suspended, I don't know about suspended. I can't tell you that, but if you turn it in and don't have one, this will protect that and reenact the law. It's just another example of something that, like, flat or globe, whatever. At least can we agree that, like, this would be a good thing financially for people, and that we've proven that the majority of the accidents are by people who have all the testing and the license needed to drive. Like, that a piece of paper doesn't make people responsible on the road or good drivers. Come to Arkansas and you'll find out. Anyway, sorry. But anyway,
Sorry,
interesting deflection here. I thought I would tell people and see. It's another topic. Okay. I want to see if Coda was in. I thought I seen her join. But yeah, go ahead, bro.
I don't have a problem listening to other people's opinions or or where they're at. You know what I mean? I just want to know where they're at.
Yep.
So kind of tells you the condition of our country and the world. I mean, you got to know where everyone's at, you know?
Yep. And this is cool that this guy's making a full package like that, a full legislative package. I had a lawyer come up, and he had nothing. All he could say was the Commerce Clause. This was a day or two ago. I don't know how you're getting that. Yeah, that's the thing you're not understanding. This isn't commerce. You can't enforce the Commerce Clause where it's not applicable. And y'all have been doing that. And that's what this case law says, and that's what this kind of enacts on, that the police only have traffic infractions, traffic and all that have a commercial definition, blah, blah, blah. You've probably heard that a million times. But this is what it says in these things, and that'll put a stamp on it and mandate training on the fact statewide in the 10 states they have so far, if we get it sponsored and get it put through. Of course, they'll probably try to sundown it, because my looking into the opposition to this, non-biased of course, would be that they would immediately get traffic or road funding cut by the federal side. And that would be their reason to try to railroad this every way that they can, at least in my state. They're going to be like, what the hell is this? You know, and most of the attorneys are going to probably not co-sign it. But I don't know. We'll see.
The bottom line is they want us to feel weak, insignificant, powerless. They keep us in low energy so that if we really wanted to rise up, we would win. If we all got on the same page and said, and we're taking our country back, we would win.
Exactly.
But they got us in such low energy and so divided that people can't fathom it, or even, you know what I mean? And they're powerless.
Exactly.
And really, we're not powerless. We have lots of power, man. They don't want us to know we have the power. So
that's just it. We have the power. The Bible even says, and other religions all say, that we're called to do greater things than they. You will see me do these, you shall do the same, and then you will do even greater things. So when he's whipping the Pharisees, you know, I take that, okay, well, you said I do the same. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you're right, though. I mean, you're hitting on it right there. It's like, you know, he came to free the captives, the slaves, to this system that, you know, this world that we live in. It's like, the truth sets you free, man.
Exactly.
And if we can all just live in the truth and seek truth, and we can agree on the truth is the truth. You know, we're never going to agree on speculations, things that we can't prove, outer space, galaxies, stars, unscienceable things. We can't prove any of that. We're never going to agree. That's the perfect the perfect divider, you know what I mean? It's like, and nothing can put you into a lower energy than to think that you're nothing but a speck of dust, man.
Bob Smith joined. Got a few others in here. More of how the ancients described it. That's where they get their sphere from, but they won't read further to see that it was a celestial sphere they believed in, and they still thought it was flat and geocentric.
Yeah, and that's just a depiction, man. It's not saying, oh, this is the earth, this is how it looks.
Yep.
It's like, no, that's just a depiction, man. That's scaled down.
I wish
More
I
like
could make a upside down terrarium like that. Make a double sided terrarium. I don't know how to do it. I agree. If there is an underworld, there is something going on there,
mm-hmm.
and then it would have to be similar to what holds us here, and there wouldn't be no up or down either. I don't know. It would just be that holding it to the center.
Going back to the shape of the Earth and the flat Earth and stuff, it's like I've talked to some people that were in the Philippines, and it's nighttime there, daytime here, or vice versa. And I'm like, can you see the moon? And they can see the moon, and I can see the moon. I see the moon in the daytime, they're at night, and they see the moon at night. It's like, and I didn't think nothing of it. I mean, I did, but I kind of put it in the back of my mind, like, oh, I wonder what that's about. That's kind of odd. And just the other day, there's a guy that gets on this guy's live, and he says he wants to know what time it is where we live, because it's daylight and he's seeing the moon, and he shows it on camera, and and then this guy's in Maine. So this guy's down in Africa seeing the moon during the daytime. And then this guy's in Maine saying the moon's just rising up here and it's nighttime. How does that happen? I mean, there's like 12 hours, almost 12 hours time difference. They would be on the opposite sides of the globe. If they're both seeing the moon, how does that happen?
Exactly. We see people on here, they come and they show it in Africa, the U.S., and I think Australia.
Yeah.
I don't get that either.
That doesn't prove a globe at all. And then a pilot, I heard a pilot talking about how he was, I don't know what elevation he was at, but when he took off, it was nighttime. And when he got to a certain elevation, he saw the sun like 750 miles from where he was at. It's like, it's like up there in elevation, he could see it was like daylight to him. But when he took off, it was nighttime. I mean,
yeah, I'm about request that.
Hey, in response to that, if it's nighttime where he's at, that means it's, if it's 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night, wherever that pilot was,
mm-hmm.
That means it's noon, 7,000 miles away from him, and the sun is directly above those people, right? Because time zones. So if it's night where he's at, that means 7 time zones away from him, it's noon. The sun could not possibly be 700 miles from him. Because that same sun that he's looking at is directly above people 7 time zones away.
But the curve should obstruct it.
Depends on the time. No, it'd be low on his horizon. I can see the sun from up to, depending on my view west and the time of year, 8 time zones away.
I haven't really tried to unpack what he said. That's just what he said. He's a pilot.
Yes.
So
750 miles is a ridiculous number, because the minimum, like, even if it was winter and the sun is setting at like 6 p.m., right? That's still 6 time zones away from him. It's noon, and those people are looking directly up at the sun. Same thing, by the way, whenever you hear a flurf talk about the sun being in the clouds, right? Those photos are always taken either early in the morning or early in the evening. Which means they're claiming that sun is in those clouds directly overhead, 6-7 time zones away. So unless you're claiming to be able to see clouds, the dumbest arguments flirts make.
All right, then. Well, then rebut the hotspot. Get a flashlight and do a hotspot, or headlights on a house. You can't do it. You pull away further, you're not gonna you lose the hotspot. So explain the hotspot.
Picture right here. He's elevated and he sees the sun way over there. But if he dropped down in elevation, he could be in darkness, like he said. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's because he's seeing a sun that's 93 million miles away.
No, that's because of linear perspective.
No, it's
the dome of your vision. It is.
Yeah, one of the biggest problem is the perspective comment, like what is it? Where the
Are we capable of having just a discussion here, man, without getting insulting or?
Well, I didn't call either of you dumb. I said the people that make the statement about the sun being in the clouds are dumb. I didn't call you guys dumb. I didn't hear you guys make that claim.
I said there's a local hotspot right there on the clouds, and the clouds behind that hotspot.
Doesn't that show as local? It's like
it could be opaque part of the clouds, but still, the point is there's a hotspot there, and you're skipping over it. But go ahead. What was you going to say?
Well, sure. Once again, that's a photo that's occurring at evening, right? The sun's low on the horizon. That's only happens early evening or early in the morning.
But it's still 93 million miles away, too far to make a hotspot.
Even on a flat Earth, it's too far away to make a hotspot on those clouds that are visible to a person when that sun cannot be closer. Even on a flat Earth, can't be closer than 6,000-7,000 miles away.
That sun.
Just not possible.
What do you mean it's not possible?
Once again, that sun is a minimum on a flat Earth model. I'm giving you guys the benefit of a flat Earth model. On a flat Earth model, that sun is 6,000-7,000 miles away from that person in that aircraft.
Based on what instrument? How do we measure that?
I mean, time zones. That photo was taken in the
7,000 miles away, right?
Correct.
Horizontally, maybe, but not in the sky. Horizontally, maybe. Because look, we're only going like 73, 80 miles high, and we're hitting barriers. So we can't invoke the hypothetical 93 million mile away if we can't measure it. So now back to the fact that we have the sun shrinking, we have it above, right on, or in the clouds. We have other pictures too that I have to go.
What time of day would you say that is?
I don't know.
You're right. It does depend on what time of day and everything you take.
Right. That looks like it's like 7 p.m. at night. That's just a guess, but it's evening, right? It is about to set. So that means if you go across the Earth 7 time zones, that sun is directly overhead for those people. That's several thousand miles away.
Horizontally, maybe.
Even if you triangulate it, it's still going to be several thousand miles away. That's worse for you, actually, because if it's directly overhead of those people, right? So that means a straight line to them is 7,000 miles. That means at an angle, that sun is even further away than those people who are on the ground looking straight up at that sun. It's even worse for you.
Can you see forever? Can you see? Our eyesight's limited?
Well, but you can see the sun, and you can see that cloud. So, are you claiming that cloud that is receiving the hotspot is 7,000 miles away from you?
I didn't
You're
say
s-
anything about
I'm
that.
claiming they're both in the same perspective limits of vision vertically because they're both ramping and barrel rolling and going straight above you like the clouds do at noon or like the sun
what's
does
the
at noon. Or,
what's the furthest away you think you can see a cloud?
why does that matter? We could see probably clouds, I don't know, probably 20 to
So-
40 miles away.
Great, I agree. Like 40, 50 miles away. So that cloud that you claim is getting the heat spot is
Yeah,
getting a
that's
heat
40
spot
miles
from a
of missing-
sun that is
That's 40 miles.
6,950
But
miles further away.
That's, straw man. That's 40, but that's like 40 miles of missing curvature.
You can triangulate it. Those clouds look pretty low in the sky.
So if I'm
So,
seeing
so
clouds,
that heat spot is casting a heat spot on a cloud 40 miles away from 7,000 miles away, but it's not cooking the people who are on the ground below the sun.
right, because it's not as hot as what y'all thought it was. It's close.
But it's hot. Well, but if it's hot enough to create that heat spot 7,000 miles away, what should it be doing to those people right below it?
7,000 miles. So what's that? I don't think it's that far.
How far apart are time zones? How far apart is
Time
from one
zones,
end to the eastern time
zones are
zone to the
larger.
other?
There's more time zones in the south, so if they were the same time zone,
Sure.
they would be larger. But there's more in
Well.
the south, a larger circumference. So what are you talking about? Maybe it is.
I'm in Florida, Eastern time zone. When I go to the Gulf Coast, I can watch the sunset.
Wait.
Meanwhile, that sun is setting for people, or is at noon for people who are in Hawaii. So it's directly
over
above
our
them.
heads. You can
Because
see
it goes northwest.
in the cloud. When the sun's directly over our heads, we can see hot spots in the cloud.
That's not the photo he was claiming that it was
Yeah,
directly
but when
overhead.
you're
He was
looking at that
claiming
photo,
a setting
you're
sun.
trying to say, look how far away those clouds and this and that. But what about when the sun's directly over our heads? We see hot spots in the clouds.
Like this one.
Okay, great. I'm glad you said that. So when you look down a line of longitude, like for example, there's I had lunch and I called my daughter while I was in Peru on a project and she was in New York City. It was noon for both of us. Okay. That sun that you're looking at there, if you're claiming that's in those clouds, above those clouds, is also, would people 12 or 8,000 miles south of you see that sun in those clouds?
They wouldn't have the same clouds, would they?
Correct. That's exactly right.
Yeah, but you can see.
But they can still see the sun directly over them because it's noon at both locations. It's noon in Peru while it's noon in New York City.
No.
Yeah. Hold on.
You can still see in the clouds when the moon's out too. You see like hot spots in the clouds from
Yeah.
the moon.
So New York City is right on this line of longitude and goes all the way down and is also noon here. So noon in New York and noon in some places in Peru are exactly the same time, and they are roughly 6,000 miles apart. 6,000 miles away, someone in New York is looking straight up at the sun at the same time someone in Peru is looking straight up at the sun. So no, that sun is not above the clouds of your house on some random Thursday. Crepuscular rays is another dumb argument. Tell me how that sun could be in those clouds while also 6,000 miles away be directly above other people.
Where was that picture taken?
Doesn't matter.
Huh?
Yeah, it's noon across an entire 12,000 miles of longitude. I mean, it's noon. Let's see, where's the largest landmass where it will be noon across the entire time? Okay. For example, it's noon in Nardal, Sweden. At the same time, it's noon in Nambia in Africa. And those are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those are about 9,000 miles apart.
All I know is in my winter, the sun's more towards the south and towards the horizon. It's not directly overhead for my noon. So when it's like noon down there. But anyway, again, all the maps use a horizontal, no vertical curve, and a larger circumference in the south, like Captain Cook and others got. So I don't know. I don't get how the sun's doing anything to prove a flat versus globe. I would like to, you got any other proof? You got it spinning? Because this is like against
I came to answer something you said.
Well, you're not making. Well, the claim was parallel rays and crepuscular rays are what we see, so we still win by default.
Your original claim was that a pilot said that.
No, that was me.
Nighttime.
That was him.
Okay. And I was just saying what a pilot said. I didn't say it was true. I said I didn't even try to unpack that. It's like I just stuck it in the back of my mind. And
well, does it make sense? Well, that's just a dumb claim by him then, because
well, that's probably why I didn't pay too much attention to it.
Okay. Well, does it also make sense when people claim that they see the sun in the clouds? Right. Well,
I got other pictures. It does make sense. It goes up and down with the analemma, so some parts it could be above the clouds, and some parts it could go just below the cloud ceiling.
Yeah. Any photo that I've ever seen someone show of the clouds is always evening or morning. You can't show me a photo.
I'll show you from above it. Just give me a second.
I got to go in 5 minutes.
Well, Bob, you seem pretty respectful, and I appreciate having this discussion. And taking in what you're saying and everything else, and
yeah, I mean it's those are just some really common flurf talking points, but when you sit down and think about them logically, they're completely ridiculous.
But I think the sun, moon, stars, and all those things are all apparent to the observer, man. It's like they're more mysterious than what they claim it is. It's not, to me, I don't think you can just put everything in a box and say, there it is, and this is, I don't think it's that way.
Well, the moon more than the sun is 100% provable that it's 250,000 miles away. I mean, we bounce radar off the moon, we bounce lasers off the moon, we bounce radio signals off the moon, and with all of those, you can tell by the return time how far the moon is. Ham radio operators bounce signals off the moon. You can tell by the return time. Observatories bounce lasers off the moon, off the reflectors. You can tell the return time. It's not the estimates. Those are measurements. They have measured the moon's distance to 250,000.
What instrument? Well, show us the laser in the mirrors. Let's bounce a laser off of it ourselves so I can see it.
I mean, you can go to an observatory.
Explain this one.
I just see, that's a sun that's setting 90 93 million miles away with clouds in between.
How do you know the sun's 93 million miles away?
So there's lots of measurements you can take.
Did you take them?
One that hold on,
There's
there's
measurements
one
for the sun.
There's one that you can do. So because we know the distance to the moon, when the moon is at
How do we know the
half,
distance to the moon?
because we bounce radar, lasers, and radio waves off of it, and
You know you're
can
bouncing
measure
off
the amount of time.
moon?
What's that?
How do you know you're bouncing them off the moon?
Oh, sure. With the radio signals, they bounce it. They bounce the. They get the return message, like they use an encoded signal, and they're receiving their own encoded signal
It
back.
could be bouncing off the firmament.
No, because they can do it. It only works when they aim it at the moon. If they aim it out to if it was the firmament, they could aim it out into dead space and still receive a signal. That doesn't happen.
Well, then let's see if they see it. Let's see if Google says it happens or not. I guarantee you it probably does happen.
So I want to go back to answering the question. So when the moon is at half, I forget what the term for it is. So when it's half lit and half dark, right? That means the moon is directly facing the sun and is at a 90-degree angle. From Earth, you can then measure your angle to the sun as well, to the center of the sun, to the middle of the sun, right? The dead center of it. And then measure your angle to the moon. So we know the three angles and the length of one side. You can calculate the length of all three sides, and there you get the moon's distance or the sun's distance.
See, I think all of it's apparent to the observer, man. Just like, I mean, it's all mysterious, man. It really is.
Your model even claims that stuff bounces off the sky anyways. Sorry to interrupt, but his model also claims we bounce radio waves off the sky regardless.
Yeah.
So, and then they say the
It's not
atmosphere
the
goes
sky.
much beyond the moon, your own model. So, yeah, we are. It is. It is something. The sky, the dome, whatever you want to call it.
It's not the sky. It's particles in the sky, ionized particles. Yeah, I believe you're talking about over the horizon radar. Yeah, they're bouncing that off the ionosphere, which is, it's not sky, it's particles. It's charged particles in the atmosphere.
Whatever you want to call it. Like, you're saying that we couldn't just aim away from the moon and get a result. I think it still would bounce back and get a result, or at least pre-programmed to give a result regardless if anything's happening. Based on what?
Yeah, so once again, if they aim at the moon,
sky does the same thing, and your own science says the
they get a
atmosphere
return
extends
signal
beyond the moon, so that's above the atmosphere.
They're not aiming it at the moon. They're aiming at what's apparent to their observation. It's still bouncing off the ionosphere, right? It doesn't matter.
No, because that would put the ionosphere at 250,000 miles away. Once again, they're measuring the amount of time from when they send the signal to when they receive the bounce. So the ionosphere is not 250,000 miles away. Like I mean, a scientific experiment is.
If you aim it at the moon.
Actually, I got to go. It's 2:00. I got something to do. Bye.
Hey, Bob, good conversation, man. But if they're aiming it at the moon, it's their apparent observation of the moon, right? It's not like, it doesn't mean that's the moon. That's just what's apparent to their perspective. And it could just all be bouncing off the ionosphere. You know what I mean? So they're going to get the same reading no matter how many times they look at the moon and they say they're bouncing it off the moon. But it's really bouncing off the ionosphere.
Exactly. The YouTube's popping. They're triggering on the YouTube. Come on, share this out with your friends, your mom, your cousins, whoever. Come on. Anyway, the YouTube's going up. We got this going. But yeah, you're exactly right. You just got to look at what we're trying to show y'all here, not to interrupt, and just take it in for a second. I don't even think they can take it in. They just have to outright repeat, and just reject it. But go ahead. They kind of kept repeating that about it just wouldn't happen. But how?
Well, yeah, and he's stuck on the 93 million miles. I mean, he's stuck on the indoctrination, man. What they said because they said so. It's like, I mean, I don't believe the sun's 93 million miles away. That's not what we observe. And everything that we see, and I mean, everything's apparent to our perspective and where we are. Like when they use the sextants and stuff like that to navigate the stars, they picked a star that was close to where they were in the direction they were going. They never used the same star, but it all got them to where they were going, right?
Yep.
I mean, this navigation still worked because it was apparent to their location. They picked a star. That's how they did it.
They used a flat map to depict the ground beneath it.
Yeah.
Where they were observing it from. Exactly. Stellarium does the same thing.
Yes. So to me, everything's apparent to the observer, man, and where you are.
And the sun get the same constellations, I mean, we can't see the same constellations that everyone sees because we're not in the same location.
And we can only see so far.
Yep. On all directions, it just rolls down and domes down and then goes behind our limits of vision because our eyes are curved and they make things appear to do that when you look vertical.
And I think it's all attributed to the firmament, man.
Oh yeah, both. I think they play together. Because if you zoom in on your eye on the side with a camera, it looks like the firmament. It looks like kind of like those balloon footages where they're way up there, flat, kind of maybe some. And you know what I'm saying? It looks very similar. Dark sky. And I think it's the same thing. We're in God's eye, and He made us in His image, so we got two eyes to look through to see. And we got the one above, the one below, and then I don't know, I could go on.
You know, when you said that about God's eyes, I'm thinking, you know, God's eyes is looking down upon us, but and the North Star is like the throne or the pupil or looking down. But here we have the firmament, and that looks like an eyeball looking up. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You just made me think of that. It's like when you just said that about the eyeball, and I'm like, wow. The firmament and everything in the earth, it looks like an eyeball.
Exactly. You know? Your eyes do it when you zoom on it. Yep.
And what's on the outside? A lens, right?
Exactly.
So everything's lenses, right? And changes our observations and stuff and how we see things. And
so what if the stars are flat? I mean, they say space is flat, but what if it's the dome making it curve down like our dome of vision does because of the dome on our eyes?
Exactly.
It could be.
Yeah. We you know what? We can't science these things. But we can, I mean.
Yep. We could just make claims that are science-based like that, but I can't go up there and measure that, go outside the dome to see if it's flat. See if I can get it to come back into perspective.
Mm-hmm. Things are spiritual and physical. You know? And I think we need to use discernment on a lot of this stuff. You know? I don't think we should pick sides like we should be seeking the truth, man. I'm a flat earther, or I'm a glober, or no, we're we're truth seekers, man. We're supposed to seek the truth.
Yep, they're hiding it right in front of us. Yeah, Stranger Days. The Upside Down. You could buy this at Walmart when the show was popping. It's still on their website. I should have got it. I seen it on the shelf. I told my grandma. I went to help her with something and said, "Look, This is the model. I didn't know straight with that. I gotta watch Stranger Things. Only reason I watched the show, I never gave two shits until I seen that at Walmart. Then I had to watch the whole thing because of that right there. I like I double take. You know what I'm saying? I was like, holy shit, why'd y'all hit the floor? Walmart's got the flat Earth. Cool. I fuck with it.
Right in your face, right?
The richest store chain owner in America has got the flat Earth on his shelf, and you guys still denying it. And he's got a globe not for navigation purposes down the road, down the other aisle, but still, I mean, come on, man. It's so popular that they're allowing it on the shelf. I bought my flat Earth synthetic astronomy book because it was somebody traded it in or whatnot, I don't know, but it was the only one of their kind, and they had it on this little book stand, and I was like, what? At a bookstore? Because my buddy collects comics and stuff. We go all over, and I gotta get that. I left the sticker on it to prove it. It's still there. I'm like, you're never gonna see a flat Earth book at a store like that for some time, but maybe the times are changing. I was saying the times are changing. I think it's that big, and we don't realize it yet. That's my opinion. I think all the millions, and we're hitting the 10 millions of posts are big flat Earth guys. So yeah, the ones that have been doing it longer and build up subscribers, and they don't do all the other topics. So I think it's bigger than we think. And now that we do these flat Earth meetups, they're gonna massage them all. No, I'm just kidding. They like to use those words, but we'll see. I'm excited.
I'm gonna screenshot that. That's pretty cool.
I also think like you have the pillars. It could be shield and pillars in between that. Now I can't science that. That would make it a whole different than just a celestial sphere. But that's what they claimed. Was it Aristotle's? And I think even Da Vinci, a bunch of others drew this. Well, now whether that's the model or not, that's one I like. I don't know. I fuck with it. We've always, throughout our history, the underworld, anti-fairies, hell, the upside down, even Pirates of the Caribbean. So I don't know, why not? I'll entertain it, but I can't science it. It would make sense with the Agartha theory, though. Go ahead.
Just how much of this that we sit here and we choose sides and stuff, globe and flat Earth and flirts and that, and it's like, but how much do you really actually know?
And why not just pretend to science flat Earth with us so we can finish our model and we'll help you work out the kinks in your model, which will never happen.
We don't have a real model to say per se, but that right there is pretty good. It's kind of a model, but it's not real. I mean, it's just a depiction, and it's not a real model. Like, we don't have a real model.
But when the Agartha thing was trending a few months ago, right out of nowhere, everybody just was playing that, I come from a land down under. And this is the only model I think that would fit us saying that throughout history and putting it in songs, and the Agartha thing. If you want to believe in Agartha, whether it's that version or just it being the center version, you know, there's different theories of what it is. But I think that's, an interesting take. You know, if this would be the land, a depiction, not a model, of the land beneath.
It's more like kind of a thought experiment, or kind of a thought, just a seed. You know what I mean? It's like.
But what's interesting, why I used it before, because people used to compare it when I was describing the electromagnetic field almost to behave like a proton or whatever you call it. If you believe in we're just this energy field and we're manifesting it to be this physical thing. Well, either way, protons behave similar to some of that. I think it was protons, with a positive, a negative, and a flat center, where a lot of like oxygen equalizes at that flat center and creates a gradient. I think, if I'm not mistaken. So I used to call it proton Earth. I don't know. Wearing a giant glass proton, but I don't know, or electromagnetic proton. But then I was like, it's got to be solid. But I don't know. I just trolled. It would get them triggered. It's similar, but not the same. I don't know.
I think a lot of people think we're living in a simulation.
It could be, Morty. It could be them aliens again, Morty. They got us. We're in a simulation inside another simulation. We got to get out, Morty. The Roy game crashed. No, I'm with the Roy game one though. Like I think the Roy game crashed. That could be another way of explaining the God consciousness. You know, it crashed and then rebooted inside the NPCs he created.
I mean, I think we are in a, but it's not a simulation. It's God's simulation. It's a place God created and God put us here. And we're here for a reason. And we have a purpose. And so, I mean, I think in a way we are in a simulation. And none of us know everything. There's no one here on earth that knows everything.
Well, I'll tell you, I've been researching with conspiracies at the back, and now it's every day since middle school. And what I can tell you now, first back then, the more I learn, the less I know.
Exactly.
I don't know nothing.
The beginning of wisdom is to acknowledge you have none, man. It's like,
yeah, I still like to argue nothing new under the sun, but there's still all this under the sun that I don't know yet. I still don't know how the sun works.
well, yeah, we should question everything. You know?
Yeah. And that's what we're doing. I don't get how people can't question anything at this point when it's like the whole world's about to explode over one topic we weren't ever allowed to question my entire life, 3 generations before me. And it's like, come on. We got to do something. It's got this bad. It's still debatable. You know, we're all on the endangered list, including humans. We got to do something. It's this bad. Oh no, you guys are still like, I don't know, maybe. I see where you're coming from. Ask people here in 2026 when we got like 70% saying we're ready, this is too much, I can't handle it. What needs to be done? When billionaires say, nope, I'm going to go in and do the thing, like Tucker Carlson, I'm going to say the thing. Or you got Dan Bilzerian, I'll say the thing. Earth's flat, space is fake. These people are fake. And whatever it is. It's like, come on, man. These people gaslit themselves all this time, and they couldn't anymore. And
There's a lot of things that are not exclusive to flat Earth and not exclusive to the globe that we can actually agree on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of that stuff.
So there's a lot of truth and mixed in with a lot of lies. If we could just all agree on the truth, things that we can actually prove and then work together, you know, instead of choosing sides, we should all be like on the same side of truth, wanting to know the truth.
Yep.
It'd be a heck of a lot less fighting and arguing. And we just might get somewhere.
Exactly. Let's check the YouTube again. Let's see what that's doing. All right. That guy was triggered. So there you go. Surveying for small plots of land. The Earth is measured by geodetic surveyor. Again, geodetic surveying treats the Earth as measured flat. It uses a flat X and Y coordinate system. If you have a TikTok, I suggest you join the box.
Hence the plane surveying. Plane surveying. Hello. Plane surveying.
And geo, what does geo mean? They always use geodetic as a magic word, and when you say it's Earth, the dude yesterday says, no, that's not what it means. You're wrong. You Google it. Etymology of geodesy, Earth, and measurement or the division. So dividing or a measurement. So a measurement of the surface. When they use total stations, you name it, with flat lines as the raw data, you guys are inserting curvature afterward because a few documents tells you what curvature correction is, but further on they say neglected 0, we treat it as measured flat. So I'd love to see any opposition to that. They usually don't. Just globe splaining and believe me, bro. But what is it, Sean Hawkins?
They have to insert those things. Even though they're not true, they have to insert them no matter what they do. Oh, but assume what is supposed, the Earth is flat, non-rotating. But let's throw in the gravity because it has to be there.
Oh, gravity. One gravity. Two
It has to be
gravity.
there. It has to be in there. You have to you have to fit it into the equation. You have to fit it in to their documents. But they'll tell you it's assume means suppose it's a flat non-rotating Earth. But they're going to put in these things. They got to put in gravity. They got to put in Coriolis to go along with their narrative.
I'll let them have it because right now the equation on the gravimeter uses W and replaces W with G and uses it as the same thing and treats it the same and says it's the weight and the heaviness.
Weightiness, heaviness. That's what gravity was before gravity.
That's what gravitas was defined as in the dictionary in Greek. Exactly. Yeah. So I don't know. Greek source.
They just hijacked the word.
But in the equation it's W equals. That's crazy.
and everything worked before gravity. Everything was explained before gravity. You know, buoyancy, density, and electrostatic and electromagnetism, all this was already there. The ether, which they never disproved, but somehow taken away.
Yep. Somehow we have Ethernet, but it's not the same thing. Huh. The hell is it then? Ethernet. Yeah.
Everything's electric, man. I live in an electric energy harmonizing world, man.
Yep. Let's get this back up. Anybody on the YouTube want to join? We're on TikTok. All right, let's do this. Yeah, but I think it's just like a few of them left. And the new ones are people that just now discovering how flat Earth are really looking into it or how viral it is. But I'm watching people like, I don't know, you look at some of the people, 20,000 followers, 100,000, 200, a million, and they talk about just flat Earth. That's crazy. Now, I mean, if they just added flat Earth in there and they did all the conspiracies, there you go. But no, some of these people like Caleb and Aloha and Dave, that's their primary, if not their only thing they talk about. They don't dabble in anything else that could remove the account.
Well, that's kind of good too.
At least that account and that topic there, so you can reach those people still. Cause yeah. I lost all mine, and you're never going to build it back a second time like that. If you do, you know, it takes a while. On me, because I keep getting banned 13 accounts. But anyway, no, I should have played safe with my big account, and I didn't when I had one. But like, yeah, that just proves it alone. But you look at the insights on Instagram and everything else. You see 10 million, 20 million, 100,000. Like, yeah, that used to be platinum numbers on a record back then. When you hit those, 1 million, 10 million, whatever. And now we're just all fluidly doing it organically. Just make a post. The algorithm and the people handle it. That's like, man. Anyway, yeah, I think it's big. We're there. Come on, Globies. Prove me wrong.
Do you know who that physicist is? Mateo Kaku, I think.
Yeah.
That guy is. Yep. I like that guy. He's like, yeah, we lied to you about gravity. And he also says they don't sit there and do scientific experiments and stuff like that. They just sit around and they talk about theories and they don't ever do anything. It's like,
yep. We told our kids gravity sucks. We lied to you. Gravity doesn't pull things down. Space-time pushes. It's space-time gravity. But he's not saying that it's not. It's space-time gravity. Does gravity push? And they can't answer you directly because it's a clear no, and that he was saying that, or they always start out. He never said that. You can't find out. Like, we could play the clip. He said it twice. You recite it as he said. You play it as recited, and then they'll just deflect and go, "Oh, well, that's not what he meant. You don't understand. You're using the words wrong." Same shit.
It just reminds me of the blind leading the blind. I mean, they really don't know anything, man. It's no different than all of us sitting together in a think tank and speculating. You know?
Yep. I guess Dr. Jason Flatworm, what's good?
Well, I'm thinking here when you just said that, before it was pulling you, now it's pushing you, but in reality, it's making a gravity well, and just like a water well. If you jump into it, then you're free floating. And then being sucked down. That's what they're saying. Is kind of you're free floating now. You're like you're falling into a gravity well. So you're not even pushed or it's probably these people are confused as fuck, man.
Yeah. Are you talking about like when they go in an airplane and they get like 24 seconds worth of free falling? They say it's just simulating gravity, or weightlessness. But
yeah,
I mean, all you're doing is falling, man. You're falling with the airplane.
Right, and that's a weird thing. You don't witness that in nature. You don't witness that feeling in nature of just constant weightlessness. When you fall from a cliff, you do for a second, then you die. But you don't get to experience that without no danger. Mm-hmm. And that's the first part of science. We always talk about scientific method and stuff with these people. And I looked it up, and I've saved it on my phone so I can constantly look it up. The first step of the scientific method is to witness something in nature. And that's very important. I was talking to my wife, and that's very important because that's when they start to make up the bullshit, like Miku Kaku says. They have made up so much shit. It's because what they're talking about isn't witnessed in nature. The number one step, the number one step is to witness it in nature. You have to say that in nature.
Let's look at what we know and what we can verify and touch and feel and see, not these theoretical outer space things that we could never prove.
So once we explain that to them, I think they have to swallow that fucking jagged little pill, and they're just gonna have to deal with it because our explanation of the scientific method is more scientific than theirs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not true.
Look at the fish and stuff down in the water. That's a different medium they live in. We all live in fluids. You know, we breathe oxygen. They breathe in water, but they can float.
You can almost say that was a whole different universe, couldn't you?
Yeah, they have buoyancy. You know what I mean? They can control their buoyancy underwater, and they can float down in the water. Gravity's not affecting them at all. I mean, if gravity was what they say, then those fish and stuff would be at the bottom of the ocean.
That would be wild to just live in a naturally neutral buoyancy environment. Wouldn't that be wild? You could just you just swim to wherever you're going. That'd be crazy. It's just a perspective. It's just what Einstein said. What is it? Relativity? It's relative to what you're seeing. It's relative to what the next person is seeing. It's relativity is the factor. You know, if we lived in an environment where we constantly floated up, we would design our houses and our cities different. You know, and we would think gravity was pushing us up, and they would make us bullshit reverse stretching of space-time to explain why we all float upwards.
We have pressure.
Exactly.
That's keeping us down to the ground. It ain't gravity.
That's what I think it is. I think it's just the pressure of this atmosphere and the molecules it's made up of is pushing down on me right now. That's what I feel. And I'm pushing back on it when I stand up.
Yep. NOAA.gov and the tanker companies or the tanker trucks say the air pressure is like 3 cars on your back. So why couldn't it be? I'm not lifting 3 cars on my back here on the earth. So if the air is equivalent to like doing that at default, I would say that could be part of what's holding us down too. I don't know. Alone, the other factors of heaviness and buoyancy and all that, but still.
So why do you discount gravity so quickly?
Because of what I just said right there.
Why are you
Well,
so
you're
quick
saying what ifs.
to add it though? Why are you so quick to add it?
It's reality. It's what we
But
measure.
why
W
discount gravity as being one of the what ifs?
Because we're not doing what ifs. We're doing measures. So
you did what ifs. You said what if it was the atmosphere pushing down? What is the science behind that?
I said I believe it could be pushed down because the tanker companies that claim the air pressure will blow up their tankers. It's not them messing up. It's the air pressure due to them
we
improperly
have
fueling.
science. We have science
Yeah.
that explains that. We do have
What
that.
science?
You don't have a single science experiment that explains or proves gravity. You might think you do, but you don't.
So, to prove the Earth's gravity, you would have to have a model as big as the Earth.
Yeah, that's what they say here. Now you just admitted that you don't have scientific experimentation.
No, they have
because
other
you would need
experiments.
it.
They have
That's what
other
we're looking for.
experiments that show
No,
gravity.
they titled it the electrostatic gravimeter for a reason because there was no gravity.
So, electrostatics. I looked up AI. You could do this yourself. I looked up Gemini. What kind of electrostatics would be needed without gravity to hold a locomotive down to the Earth? And it said that what would happen would be a constant electrical short like lightning because the atmosphere can't hold that much static electricity.
I agree with you. I don't believe it's static electricity that's holding us.
No, I think it's solely just the weight of the object and the weight, and for us, it's the weight of the atmosphere.
But what holds the atmosphere?
The container.
A container.
Terrariums have vertical gradients.
What container?
Terrarium firmament container, terrariums have vertical gradients.
Where is it? Because we have massive telescopes.
You see that? No, you don't. You see the blue sky. You got zeros and ones. You get a black dark reading, and then y'all composite space farts in Photoshop. Don't play with me with that shit. It's not a
you can join an astronomy club and go out and look through their telescopes and see things.
Right. There's no way to verify what the distance or the size of those things are. That's the problem. You're just looking at lights in the sky that you can't verify.
Well,
the thing is he's got a sky map overlay if he's looking at something live and he's not looking at zeros and ones like Raj did in the Big Bang Theory.
Well,
that's all he's got.
You can go to look at telescopes and look through the eyepiece without any digital anything.
Well, then you're going to see. Then you're going to see luminary. Go ahead. Sorry.
Hold on. Is seeing things in the sky that you can't verify better than scientific experimentation?
So, what do you mean you can't verify?
Have you verified how far a star is?
So, personally, I have not. But you can use geometry to verify how far away the sun is.
You can guesstimate it all you want to, but you can't verify those numbers.
Oh, no, they verified it back in the 1700s.
How's that?
So, they ran an experiment where they had measurements taken of the transverse, the Venus, moving across the sun. And they timed how long it would take in several different places around the Earth. And they took those measurements and they used trigonometry to figure out that the distance to the sun was 93 million miles. Now, I'm not a mathematician. I got through second algebra. And when I got into trigonometry, it was beyond my capabilities. But there are mathematicians who can figure this stuff out easily, long before NASA.
Right, they can guesstimate. They can hand you numbers, but they can't.
Yeah, but that's not a real world application.
Trigonometry is real world. They took the measurements in time and did the math.
The only real world application is planar trigonometry for the flat Earth that we live on.
Trigonometry, you have to know at least one of the distances, two of the distances, to verify the third distance. That is an absolute critical element. Hold on a second. You only know one leg of the triangle. You have to have 2 legs of the triangle to get the third leg's distance. That's how we use trigonometry here on Earth. You can't just do that with some stellar celestial body and say that it's verified because it's not. You can estimate, do all this other stuff, but you can't sit there.
Are you a trained mathematician?
Exactly. You just said mathematician. Math is nothing without verified measurements.
I asked you if you're a trained mathematician.
Yes, I know how to do math.
That's not a measurement.
You don't have to be a trained. Yes, I was trained in high school to do math. Yes.
Okay, so you're trained about as much as I am to do math.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same shit.
Nothing compared to the people who do this for a living.
It doesn't matter how professional you are at math. If you haven't verified what you're measuring, then it's nothing, sir.
Then you should be able to Google the experiment in 1700s.
Well, this is the problem. This is the problem. The standards for your science are so low now that anything could be possible. And when you talk to a flat earther, we are very strict with our science, and we make sure that it meets a scientific method. And you just allow anything.
I'm asking you to go and research the experiment and find the holes in the experiment.
What's the name of this? I have. Which one?
So it was done in 1700s. They used a transverse of Venus to measure how far the sun away is. You Google that, it'll come up.
Assuming Venus's distance.
Yeah, you're assuming numbers, sir. You ain't doing nothing.
No, they did not assume.
Yes, sir. You only got one distance.
So they did read the experiment. You're making conclusions without having the knowledge of what the experiment was.
No, not at all. Exactly. Oh, did we fly out there and get a mileage reader? Did we measure it with a tape measure?
You're not.
Math is not a measurement.
You're invoking trigonometry, yet you're breaking the rules of trigonometry. How is this?
You don't know. I didn't give you all the details of the experiment. I just told you.
I'm aware of the experiment. I've been here. I've heard it before. I don't understand.
Shit,
you gave us enough.
And you've gone through all the equations that they did and how they did.
I asked you for a measurement for the first distance.
And I told you that I did not get all the details. I'm asking you, go get all the details. Find the holes. But you're not willing to do that.
We already found the holes, sir.
Yeah, right now. Want me to Google it for you and say, no, they didn't measure
No. I'm going to explain the hole one more time, sir. You only have one measurement. You're supposed to have 2 measurements to find the third measurement in trigonometry.
I didn't give you any measurements.
You are breaking your experiment that you're talking about has given you the
measurement. I didn't give you enough details to know what holes there are.
This is referred to all the time. We know experiment what you're talking about.
So explain it to me in detail what they did.
They witnessed a transversion of the mercury of the sun.
And Venus, what measurements did they get from the entire experiment?
They guesstimate the fucking distance of the sun, and then they plot other numbers off of that. So
that's not what they did.
Exactly what they did, sir.
That's not what they did.
That's 100% what they did. I'm not lying to you.
Because they got the distance to the sun based on the experiment that they did.
I guess again, sir, you used. Oh yeah, bro.
We don't do hypothetical math to measure total stations. Why would we do that vertically? What instrument's measuring the distance?
So I asked you to look at the details because details matter.
Yeah, there's no instrument in that experiment. There's no instrument in that experiment. There's only a hypothetical chalkboard calculation. It's not an instrument.
You don't know that because you haven't.
I 1,000% know that.
You read all the documentation on the experiment.
I've been here for 5 years. I've read about everything you guys can throw at me.
Probably not. So how did they fake the moon landings?
Stanley Kubrick.
What a huge leap. Hold on. What a huge leap.
Yeah, I know.
Have you heard the movie Westworld?
Oh, my goodness, dude. That's like the biggest detour I've ever seen in my life, bro.
No, because that is the most advanced CGI there was in 1974, which was after the moon landings.
How did we go from you not understanding trigonometry to Westworld? That's crazy.
Because I wouldn't get anywhere with trigonometry. I just gave up.
No. So hold on.
So You
still think you can have accurate measurements with one leg of the triangle?
I don't know if there's one leg of the triangle because I didn't read it in detail enough to know that.
Well, this is trigonometry, sir.
So how could you know that we did? How could you know?
Wait. Hold on. This is basic trigonometry. You have to have 2 legs of the triangle to estimate the third leg.
So they took these measurements from multiple places, not just one.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that right now. We're just talking about. Hold on. Don't worry about that right now. We're just talking about your education about algebra. It's very simple stuff. Hold on. Stay with me. It's very simple.
No,
stuff.
I don't care.
Well, I know you don't care, but you have.
And I'm not going to.
Hold on. Hold on. You have to understand. You have to concede to this, that you keep using something that has 1 leg of the algebra equation, and that's all. The other 2 numbers are total guesstimations and could be wrong severely. You have to know that. Since
they did time difference in multiple places on Earth, you're assuming that they have 1 measurement. Obviously, they don't. They wouldn't have done it multiple places to get 1 measurement.
Bro, if you do wrong algebra twice in 2 different places, you're going to get...
It's not algebra, it's trigonometry.
I mean, trigonometry. If you do wrong multiplication in 2 different locations, it doesn't mean it becomes right, sir.
So you don't know
any math. You do any math in 2 different locations and you do it incorrectly.
But you don't know the math that they did.
It's simple trigonometry, sir.
No, it's not. Obviously.
It's literally that. Is it complex trigonometry?
Oh, yeah.
How is that?
It's far beyond any trigonometry that I have seen, because I looked a little bit at it, but not in detail.
How is it beyond that? They measured 3 points, sir.
What 3 points did they measure?
Syene, then they measured in Egypt. They measured a tower in Egypt.
No, this is not the same experiment. So, no, you're not talking the same thing.
That's how they confirmed what you're talking about. You're not even on the same level, sir.
No, that's not what they did.
This is exactly how they confirmed what you're talking about. It's Eratosthenes. Eratosthenes.
No, it's not the experiment I'm talking about at all.
I know it's not. It's the next one where they confirms it.
No,
it debunks it at the same time.
So Eratosthenes is a confirmed experiment, but it has to do with the size of the Earth, not the distance to the sun. It's on 2 different things.
Let me show you something. See if this rings a bell here.
And if you look at Aristotle, Google Carl Sagan. Carl Sagan's got an excellent thing on YouTube where it shows you why the Earth is a globe based on that experiment, which you can repeat. You can repeat his experiment.
Yeah, he talks about Eratosthenes.
Because you can repeat that experiment
He also says, look, sir, do you see this? You know what this is? See my messy shop. Do you see what this is?
Well, let me switch spots.
It's too big. It's like I can't get it there. You know what that is? There you go. There we go. What is that?
I have no idea what you're trying to do.
What is that, though? You know
it's a right angle. So?
It's a square. It's a carpenter square.
Yeah, which forms a right angle.
Right. So in trigonometry, you have to know this one, and you have to know this one to know this one.
And he knew that when he did the experiment.
Right. So he knew. So that's like, okay, so this is the ground now. This is the ground.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good. Yes, you know that one confirmed. Mm-hmm. So you know this one all the way to Venus?
No, that's not what they're doing. You're talking.
That's exactly
this is
what
not
trigonometry
This
is.
experiment was done in BC. The experiment I'm telling you about, the distance to the sun, was done in the 1700s. 2 different things.
Can you say the name? Could you go ahead and say the name of the thing you keep mentioning?
They measured the distance to the sun in 1700s. I don't know the exact name of it. They did it was done the transverse of Venus in 1700s to get the distance to the sun.
Yeah, that's just seeing some celestial and making a proclamation of some sort.
No, you don't know what it is or what you're talking about.
Yeah, we've been over this.
Yeah. No, obviously not, because you keep going back to our.
Okay, what does it prove? What does it prove? What does it prove?
It proved how far the sun was away.
So some assholes looked up in the sky, seen Mars crossing sun, and went, "Wow, that's your science."
So
that's caveman shit, dude.
And you don't understand the science, so you just
okay. So explain it to me then. Explain it. Explain it. How is it any different?
You can look it up and read it for yourself,
sun, dude. Transversion
I told
of the sun.
you can look it up and read it for yourself. You're not going to do that.
I don't want to. Explain it to me.
I'm Googling it right now.
Because if you look it up for yourself, then you can't deny it's true.
Well, I'm not going to deny it's true if you say it just right now. Explain it.
I just told you what they did, and you're denying that it's even possible.
What? You didn't say anything. You just said transversion of the fucking sun.
They measured the
and
time.
Venus, and you said no. What? I don't get it. I don't fucking get it, dude.
I told you. I'll tell you again. Just let me talk.
Okay.
So they had a transverse of Venus across the face of the sun from multiple locations on Earth. They had sailing ships out to get to different places on Earth. They measured the time it took for Venus to go across the face of the sun. And using the measurements by various locations across the planet, they were able to determine that the sun's 93 million miles away. Now, I'm not good enough about the math to know how they did that, but I'm telling you what they did.
Okay. So let me explain what they did. You know, at the square that I just showed you, the bottom part, they had all the bottom part measured, and then you got all freaked out when I measured the upward way. You were like, oh no, they didn't have. So what you did is added a bunch of more upward guessing numbers. That's what happened.
No,
you added like 5 more guessing numbers.
I don't know
and
that
then you went,
because
yeah, there it goes.
I don't know the math,
dude. There's no.
I don't know the
I
math
know
they
this
did,
because
and
there's
you
no
don't
way to
either.
verify, sir. That's the problem. It doesn't matter. They can math it all day. There's no way to verify these things.
So I got away from the math because obviously you and I don't know enough to talk intelligently about trigonometry because neither one of us studied trigonometry. We haven't.
I took trigonometry. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I just explained trigonometry to you.
Yeah, you took it in high school.
I took it in high school and passed, yes.
Yeah, that doesn't compare to the trigonometry they do.
I use it all the time. I use it all the time.
It doesn't get any more advanced.
Yeah.
Here's another square that uses trigonometry.
Yeah.
There's another type square that I use.
So,
I got another square here. I got 3 or more squares.
So how'd they fake the moon landing when they didn't have the CGI capability?
Okay, so you're finished with that one. Should never hear that from you again. That's excellent.
So CGI, they didn't have it capable to fake the moon landing.
How'd they fake the moon landing? By everybody believed what was seen on TV. That's it.
How'd they fake it?
How'd they fake it? They showed it.
Stanley Kubrick.
So how did Stanley Kubrick fake it?
So this is where you go to for your proof of your ball Earth, a moon landing discussion.
If the moon landing happened, then everything else is at the end of the ballgame. End of discussion. There's no ice wall.
Okay, so that's your science?
Yeah.
Okay, for 2,000 years, I've been arguing whether it's a ball or not, and this is your hard evidence science in 1964?
They got pictures of the Earth. Yes, hard science. How did they fake it?
So they had no science before that?
No, they had pictures of it, though. They had science, but they didn't have photographs. If you have a photograph, if the photographs of the Earth are real, there's no discussion about anything else. You don't need anything else.
What science proves the foundations of your belief system? Like what actual that science experiment proves this thing that I believe, which builds my worldview? What's that?
If
one
the picture I have hanging on my wall of the Earth as a ball is real, there's no discussion about anything else.
Okay, so you base your entire worldview.
It says
on
not for navigational purposes.
That is fantastic, bro, to know.
If that photo is a real photo, there's no discussion about flat Earth. There is no ice wall.
Is this real?
That's very scary.
Is this real?
Of course not.
Is this real?
No.
Is Hogwarts?
Well, this was 1967.
Is Hogwarts?
All right, Tom.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Tom, let me ask you
compare
something.
that movie to
let me ask
the
you
photographs
something
and
about that.
video taken from by Apollo on the moon.
It's all fake.
Let me
No,
ask
it's
you
not.
something. But
How'd they fake it?
They even say it's not real.
You said if it is real, then flat Earth is fake.
Yep.
What if I can show you a picture from the same people that provided you that picture that is undoubtedly, without a fucking argument, the fake that they admitted and they withdrawn, and this is undoubted. You cannot argue that this is a fake. If I could show you that, would you believe that Flat Earth is real now?
Yes. Which astronaut took it?
Oh, I'm talking about which company these people work for.
No,
the
astronauts work for the United States government, and you can say that, but which astronaut took the picture for it to be faked? You say the same people took it.
The pictures, bro, the whole system would be debunked then, right? If you found one picture from these people that was shown to be a forgery, right?
What people?
The people that sent this astronaut you keep speaking of. He didn't do it on his own, did he? He didn't pay for it himself.
Yeah, but you're not telling me what people the picture came from.
You're not telling me what people.
I can tell you which. I can tell you which astronaut took the picture. I just.
Can you tell me where this astronaut was employed?
He worked for NASA, or he worked for the United States government, Air Force, and Navy.
There you go. Now you're getting it. Now you're getting it. Yeah. So that's the company that if I can prove that they have misled you in certain ways, would you believe that Flat Earth is real now?
Yeah, show me what your proof is.
All right, dogs, let's go. Let's go, dogs. We can get that. We can sniff that out. NASA lies about anything. Go ahead.
No, that's... Yeah, what did NASA lie about?
What did... See, this guy thinks that NASA has never lied. I'm sure
I asked you what NASA lied about. What proof do you have
whoever's
NASA
listening, I'm guaranteeing there's somebody that's like, yeah, I got that. Watch this. Somebody provide some evidence for this guy.
The vacuum of space. That's lie number one. They tried to replicate it, and that guy almost unalived. His saliva was boiling.
So,
well, let's see. We can
so
talk
you're
about
showing
one
me
of the biggest, and that was landing on the moon.
You showed me an experiment that went bad, and that proves NASA lied? About what?
Space, vacuum.
Oh, they have vacuum chambers that they use all the time here on Earth. So
nobody goes in them, bro.
They go, yeah.
Nobody goes in them, dude.
Yeah, they go into the spacesuits.
We don't have a space. That dude just literally showed you what happens if a dude in a spacesuit gets in a vacuum.
No, that was done. And what does it say? Anything
that was done the day before they went to the moon, bro.
They put a watermelon in there and it exploded and it began to boil. Come on. What do you think's going to happen to you?
Here.
Spacesuits are designed. You don't think they have the technology to design something to keep it from boiling?
Spacesuits are designed by old ladies. Did you know that? They're designed by little old ladies that are seamstresses.
They're sewn by little old ladies. They're not designed by them.
You can even put a terrarium.
They had to come up with the blueprints. They literally came up with the blueprints for the suits, dude.
No, they didn't.
You're wrong again. Yes, they did.
No, and I think the water boiled in the terrarium that they put in a if you put it in a vacuum tube.
No, you still haven't showed me NASA lied about anything.
Right here, the vacuum of space.
What the fuck?
They claimed this was the replication of the vacuum of space. Right here, and it failed. The vacuum failure.
What vacuum failure?
Based on your belief system, so I don't really have to prove too much to you. You don't ask for
was
too
there
much
a person in the vacuum chamber in a spacesuit?
How about when the Columbia blew up, man, and all the astronauts are still alive?
That's a lie.
This dude's head's going to explode from that, dude. Calm
That's
down.
a lie. I know people who lived in Lufkin were around when they were picking up the bodies of the astronauts. I lived in that time.
You believe these people were able to pick up? That's crazy.
What was left of the bodies?
They didn't document it, though, did they?
What? They found all the bodies.
Why would you? Right? Yeah, they didn't document it though at all.
Yeah, they did. I mean,
are you sure?
You know, you guys are just on.
I've never seen any
what do you believe in? So let's go to this. Was World War II
scientific
fake?
Law, sir?
Was World War II fake?
Scientific. I'm telling you what most flat earthers believe in. Scientific law that has hold on. There's a lot to it. Scientific law that has scientific experimentation that followed the scientific method that is verifying that scientific law. That's what we believe in majority, in general.
So when I watch a ship come up over the horizon, so I can couldn't see it, but now I can.
Yeah.
That experiment is
That's not
not valid.
That's a parlor trick, an optical illusion
My feet.
happening, and they're taking advantage of how ignorant humans are, and they have lenses at this
What
time.
optical illusion?
Well, I mean, it is. If you're talking about a ship coming in, you're obviously talking about on the ocean, right?
Galveston Bay.
Okay, so if you're on some kind of thing that has any type of waters, so waves and things like that, if I googled Galveston Bay, what would they say the average wave height is?
Probably 6-7 inches.
6-7 inches.
On a calm day, Galveston Bay does not have made waves.
All right, but what's the water line of that boat, real fast? Why he's teacupped?
So those ships were the ones that I saw most often were liquid natural gas ships.
All boats have a water line if they're floating.
Yeah, and I didn't measure them because they're out in the water and I wasn't. So the water line was probably 20, 30 feet. I don't know.
Okay, so
Just Google an MCL.
So you agree the bottom of the boat is obstructed by water physically from the water line alone? And then there's the linear perspective he's trying to bring up. Go ahead. I'm just trying to clarify.
Well, I was saying that you could see the top part of the ship before you could see down to the water line. It took a long time before you could see it all the way down to the water line.
Exactly.
And you know, you can use binoculars on them and still can't see it.
I meant like, just to clarify, like I don't know what the other word of it is, but where the boat goes beneath the water, kayaks and everything do it too. For those in the chat on YouTube, this guy's trolling. But yeah, it's physically, all boats are physically underwater, a few inches, a few feet, whatever it is, depending on the size and the weight pressed on the boat. And then linear perspective makes more of the bottom disappear optically in this optical illusion, like my feet do when I walk away from the camera. I think that's what he's trying to explain.
So if I had a binocular or a telescope, then I could see the entire ship because it'd still be there, even though I couldn't see it because it's gone in perspective. But that's not the case because I used binoculars on them. They couldn't see them at all. It's not because of distance. It's because they were below the curve.
Oh, that's distance. Your binoculars are limited. If you get a Nikon camera, you can pull them back in.
Can you tell me just a guesstimate, because that's what you people do a lot, how far?
Because you can look on the map. I was at the fishing pier at Pelican Island, which is just north of Galveston in Texas, and at the bottom of Galveston Bay. And you can look up the Houston Ship Channel about 26 miles. And liquid natural gas, once we could export liquid natural gas, they come down that ship channel daily, and probably 8, 9, 10 boats a day. And you can just stand there and watch them come. They spread them apart enough, so. And you see the superstructure long before you see the bottom.
It's just like the sun. Just like the sun.
No, that's not from Pelican Island.
Well, but still, it's the same thing with boats in the sun, except boats actually have a physical water line that actually is underwater to go along with the linear perspective. No, it's not. I'm not moving at all. No, it's not. The camera's just optically zooming. It's linear perspective. So there's this big gap that develops when you zoom in. That Hasselblad will only do the digital zoom, like on the phone, from a screenshot.
So what you're taking, I know how cameras work. I've been shooting photographs.
Understand what's happening.
Well, then photography teaches linear perspective. Cameras are linear. Go ahead.
No, photography doesn't.
Yes, it does. They use the same grid they do in art class.
The art class in photography is not the same.
On the horizon, I believe it is. Cameras are a flat observation.
Onto a flat plane, and photography is not that at all. So what you've done is you've taken a small gap, and then, the sun was not below the horizon, or even halfway below the horizon when you did that.
Exactly.
Get the sun So one where the sun is below,
It
halfway
is.
below, you can't see where
It just looks like it is, dude.
Yeah, it just looks like.
That's what we're trying to tell you. It just looks like
Keep
it is.
zooming it in.
And then on top of that, depending on where you're at, there's waves. Like I looked up your claim just now. There's 1 to 3 foot waves, and it can all year long on average. 1 to 3 foot waves. So the 3 foot waves are in front of you.
Small those are. Right.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like much, but when those on the about a mile out, those 3 foot waves, and then 27 miles out, you see the boat.
The waves are still only 1 to 3 foot.
Hold on. You understand? What are you talking about?
It doesn't change anything.
They shrank, right?
Yeah, the waves are smaller too. The waves are much smaller than the boat.
So, but no. Hold on. What's smaller at this point? The 3 foot wave that's in front of you, or the 27 mile boat?
I don't see any boat there. So
you just said you've seen boats 27 miles out.
I've seen them come up over the horizon at 27 miles. I don't see anything here. But I don't see anything here. And I don't see any waves that
Well, that's because I don't have boats on this. I can go to the one with the boats and show the same thing, but I was just showing that big gap to get you to deny it real fast.
Because in this optical illusion he's showing you, the thing that's doing the optical illusion that you're confused about is coming from the top of you, and you're talking about a boat which is coming from eye level or below you.
So in the whiteout, when you went wide on that image, you couldn't tell if the sun was touching the horizon or not, because it was all just glare. So you couldn't tell if it was touching your.
Hi guys,
horizon
I'm going
or
to
not.
test my new
When you
oscilloscope
zoomed in,
today.
you could see it wasn't. That doesn't prove anything. You get one where the only thing there.
This
when you
monocular
zoom
scope is so
in
powerful,
is the
it
top of
zooms
the
in
sun,
on
and it's
objects miles
disappearing.
away.
Where did the rest of it go?
Linear perspective. That's why you get two. That's why you get two sunsets when you go over the
Horizon model of science. Watch.
Linear.
The ships sail
That's
away.
not a thing.
They don't disappear all at once.
Look, Bill Nye doing it on a flat plane.
Disappear.
It's linear perspective.
See, the bottom of the ship is
Bill
gone.
Nye doing it on a
Now we
flat
can
plane.
see midway up, and then the whole thing disappears.
But he just showed it on a flat plane in a laboratory setting. What are you talking about? He did the experiment.
Horizon model of science.
Bill.
The ships sail away. They don't disappear all at once. No, first, the bottom will disappear.
Like what? Let's watch the bottom disappear.
See, the bottom of the ship is gone.
That's perspective.
Now we can see midway up, and then
showing you curvature.
the whole.
That's not a curved surface, good sir. That's a flat one. Let's see what else we got here. See, the Nile's a river in Egypt and it only drops a few feet. Y'all should really look into it. But anyway, the Nile is strong with this clay. Let's see where the boat go. I don't see no boat. I don't see a boat. You see a boat? Oh, I'm starting to see a boat now. I'm starting to see a boat. There it is. Oh, hang on, let's get the focus back in. Come on, camera. Oh, 11 miles out, 9.5 knots. Interesting.
How do we know it's 11 miles out?
Because the boat, what the hell? Because you have equipment for that on the boat? There's public data. I mean, I don't know about all boats, but I thought you had to have all.
So you're showing me what's the millimeters on that wide angle?
No, look, couldn't tell you. Doesn't matter.
What's the millimeters
Couldn't
on
tell
the
you.
wide angle?
Doesn't matter. It's not a wide angle.
Oh, it does matter.
Oh, no, it doesn't. The whole point
I've done
is.
photography
The whole
since
point. I've done
1975.
photography
Don't tell
too.
me
And
it doesn't matter.
well, I'll tell you, I took photography class too. It most certainly doesn't matter because I don't know and I don't care and I don't need to know. The point is, you're avoiding the actual observation for deflecting.
So,
what's the lens?
If you're using a 10-degree
Where's the ship?
wide-angle lens,
Where's the ship?
and then zooming into an 800-millimeter lens, the boat could be
Where's
a
the
mile
ship? How
offshore.
are we zooming in over curvature if they're flat observations that can't go over the curve of the hill?
Right.
So in your
You
history,
guys have a good day.
in the
I'm
history of
getting
your
nowhere.
photography, have you ever been able to curve over a hill with an image and get an object on the other side?
And you're not showing me
From the base of the hill?
on this. You're not showing me
So you can't answer the question.
On this.
In all your photography,
No,
and you
of course
can't.
not.
Well, in all of your photography, you can't answer
But this photograph, you can't tell me how far away it was. And you're using super wide angle to zooming in. That doesn't tell me how far away it is. You know, and I got.
Well, he claims that he got information saying it was this.
Who said that?
The guy that did the experiment. Quit saying me.
Yeah, that doesn't tell me anything.
Well, then you're not telling me anything.
How did he determine that?
From the boat and from the public information on that ship, like the aircraft. What are you talking about?
Show me evidence of how he got that. Because that's what you keep throwing.
Bro, I'm showing you evidence after evidence, and you're ready to leave because you're getting cooked. You might as well just take the gravity slide. How much more evidence can we show? You're avoiding the fact that there's the boat, if you'll let me talk, and then no boat, boat, no boat, boat, no boat. You can't get your camera, you agreed. I'll give you that. You finally agreed that you can't curve over the hill with your camera and get an object at the other base side of the hill. So how are we going over the curvature of the Earth to get a 275 line of sight world record photography photo? That's what I would like to know. If that's, we got that too. Hold on, I have to go here to show it. Oh, right here, real fast. I mean, if you want to keep going, go right ahead. But I feel like that guy just doesn't want to understand. But there it is. How are we seeing that far? How do we have? When you replicate flat and curved surfaces, you don't get that kind of reflection from the sun. It only works on a flat Earth. Now they're saying Australia's flatter than a pancake. That's funny. That's funny. I don't know. If you want him back up, that's fine. But I just like, he was ready to go, and I'm ready to try someone else that understands more of the experiment, willing to look into the experiment, and understand that math's not a measurement alone. I have the math done on you, but it's not a measurement. Sorry, go ahead, guys. We got 3 down here. Let's see. Get something else on the background. Let's try to get on my lawn here. See, that's a funny username.
Hello.
Howdy.
I normally go by Ava EVA, but
let's try to get on my lawn here. See, that's a funny username.
Hello. I normally go by Ava EVA, but I'm having some fun with my screen name lately.
Right on.
So I've heard you mention linear perspective a couple of times. I always like to ask this question. Do the effects of a perspective change what you can see, what it looks like, or both?
What do you mean, both? Why wouldn't it? Perspective.
do they change what you can see?
What do you mean, both?
Right. So do the effects of perspective, do they change what you can see, or change what it looks like without changing what you can see, or does it both change what you can see and change what it looks like?
Looks like and can see is the same thing. What it looks like and what it can see.
No. If I take a piece of paper and change its orientation relative to me, it looks different, but I can still see all of it. If I put the piece of paper underneath the table, I can no longer see it. So whether you can see something and what it looks like are distinct things. And my question is...
you can know what something looks like without seeing it because you've seen it before. Go ahead.
Wow. Okay. Do you agree that whether you can see something and what it looks like are distinct things, even if they're sequential?
You have to see it to know what it looks like.
Right. But...
So, okay, they're the same thing. Move on.
No, I can't help you if you think those are the same thing.
Oh, then...
There's nothing to move on to.
Me to go back in. Hang on a second.
Nice crepuscular rays. How about anti-crepuscular rays?
Show us.
No, I mean, if you're going to understand how crepuscular rays work, you've got to understand perspective. And the core point of perspective that many people get wrong is they think that the rules of perspective change what you can see. They don't. Perspective doesn't make things disappear. It doesn't make things appear. It just changes what they look like when you can see them. That's a really important point about perspective. And you're never going to understand crepuscular rays or anti-crepuscular rays without understanding that basic point about the rules of perspective.
Is the parallel ray thing no longer a thing? I was talking on mute. Sorry. So is the parallel ray thing no longer a thing? I was talking while muted. Sorry, right after you stopped. I unmuted.
So Eratosthenes has absolutely nothing to do with perspective.
But I'm talking about the crepuscular rays versus the parallel rays on this photo since you mentioned crepuscular rays. So I thought
Yes. The rays in the rays that people refer to as crepuscular rays, they are parallel. And you won't understand why they look like they're not parallel unless you understand the rules of perspective. And the single best starting point for the rules of perspective is that it changes what things look like, but it doesn't change what you can see.
Is my yard light is it perspective? Or is it the angle of the light?
I have no idea anything about your yard light.
It does the same thing. My yard light does the same thing.
Can you repeat back? I'm sorry to do this, but can you repeat back the point that I've been trying to make for the last 3 minutes?
That it could appear to look like something that it's not, and I don't believe that.
And what's the other half of what I said?
A bunch of word salad.
Okay. Well, I wish you vinaigrette or ranch dressing to go with my word salad, because I don't think you're going to be able to digest it well.
I'm more of a French guy.
Yeah. That is the thing that I would urge you to sit down and think about. The core concept that crepuscular rays are due to perspective, and that the most important starting point for perspective is that it changes what things will look like, but it doesn't change what you can see.
Okay, so does perspective change the flat horizon into a globe, or a globe into a flat horizon?
Can perspective change whether it's flat?
It looks flat, but it's not, because it's got to be perspective, right?
It's actually probably more due to the limitations of human vision. The minimum sagitta required for a human to see curvature is probably the more important concept there, which is why we're probably not ready for that discussion.
Oh yeah, I am. The definition of curvature is departing from the horizontal. So if you're a continuous curve, there never was a horizontal to begin with. Why is there a horizontal? It's got to be perspective then, if that's your argument.
No, it appears to be horizontal because the amount of curvature that you can see using the effective part of your eye, which is only about the middle 60 degrees, even if you can see further, only the middle 60 degrees seems to play a role in detecting curvature. And the amount of curvature that's required is a sagitta of about a minute.
But your geodesy treats it as measured flat. So why are we measuring the Earth flat then? It's beyond optical.
I give up. You're just a meme spouter. There's not enough people here to be worth my time to explain it. Cheers. Have a nice day.
You don't want to talk about geodesy, your favorite magical globe word? Okay. Sure. It looks flat. It looks yes, whatever. Can we prove that? I don't think so. Where's the curve? I mean, it looks flat. They look crepuscular, but they're not. Can we prove that? I don't think so. That was my point. I don't know. Maybe I was spouting memes. I didn't think so. I was just asking a question. But anyway. Exactly, and so is the Gleason map. The zenith equation only works on a... You can't have an intersecting 90-degree horizon and vertical plumb on a globe that doesn't have a horizontal physically. So it'd only be an optical thing due to refraction, or in his case, perspective. His version of it, I guess. I don't know. Go ahead. Sorry, Sadie. I'm not the expert for it, but I'm not the expert for it, but I'm like the level 1 boss at the end of the level. I'm not the best, but I'm not brand new. So bear with me here. Crepuscular. I didn't think you spelled it like that. Oh, it's Simon.
Opposition to my talking points instead of just saying stupid things in response to them. What a measurement.
How about opposition to my talking points instead of just saying stupid things in response to them?
Can you prove refraction?
How about a measurement? That's not a measurement.
It appears to be a flat circle in all directions. Surveying treats it as.
So, can you prove refraction for the stellarium dome of your vision model where it appears to be a flat circle in all directions? But surveying treats it as such, or Cartesian coordinates. The total stations don't dip. The buoys in the water didn't dip. The raw data showed waves, a horizontal bunch of waves, and then maybe a flat spot or two. 19 years at a time. Around the same time during waves is usually when they measured it. Cosmic radiation data. Cosmic. Cosmic. You inserting... Never mind. Cosmic. I'm going to stop you right there. Cosmo. You got Wanda too? No. We want to start over, y'all can... Oh, shoot. I didn't even see all y'all in the request box. Sorry. I just thought that guy was calling.
Hey.
Howdy.
So Eva had said something about perspective, and how what was it that he said? That it doesn't change what you can see, or that it does.
Oh, that guy, he said that it can appear to look like something.
Do you know which one he said?
He said they're actually parallel rays. They appear to.
Oh, that guy, he said that it can appear to look like something, but it's not. He said they're actually parallel rays. They appear to crepuscular due to perspective. That's what he said. I don't know what Vika said.
Right. And yes, parallel lines do. They do converge to a vanishing point. Now, whether or not, that vanishing point stops where you can see it stopping is a determining factor also that he has to take into account. So the anti-crepuscular rays show us the point. Don't misquote him, Sadie. I'm not. I'm going off of what DJ told me he said.
That's what I got. He repeated it twice. He said.
So I'm not the one misquoting.
That was his words. He can come back up and restate it if he wants. But he was already ready to go, just like the last guy. So I dropped him.
Well, trust DJ, like, so you're just kicking.
Y'all have a good one, type shit. Like, well, trust DJ, like, so you're just kicking a non-existent can. He literally said it twice. He literally was like, look, it's parallel rays, but they appear due to perspective to converge and look, but I figured it would be the other way for both observations if they're straight lines, that it would ramp.
Okay, Wayne, well then how about you get Eva back in here? He knows who I am, so see if he'll come back in here and chat for a minute. If not, then the only thing I have to go off of is the other people that were speaking to him. So.
And I've restated multiple times trying to ask him and clarify what he's saying. I thought I did. I don't know. We can rewind the YouTube and listen to what he said too. Either way. I can rewind and we can hear it. Well, if my YouTube heard it twice, then you got nothing. Let's see if they said let's see what the YouTube chat even said. There's people watching. Oh, they ain't said nothing to that. All right. Same troll mainly. Well, she's agreeing that it does do that, but still, come on, man. Either way, it's not conclusive to a globe. It doesn't measure curvature. Well, who we got now? Cousin Ray Ray's back. We got Minor Threat and Simon. Only 3 in the box. Or in the request. That guy left. The old man left. Some 1700s experiment. I think we've all heard.
What did we say that experiment was refraction, making the sun look bigger than Venus? I don't know if that's true.
Some globies say that experiment was refraction, making the sun look bigger than Venus. I don't know if that's true.
I'm definitely trying to make it to Dallas.
What's up, Aloha?
Big salute, brother. We need videos from space or solid evidence.
I'm definitely trying to make it to Dallas this fall in November. Big salute, brother.
67 countdown.
Any of the videos from space are solid evidence. What was that movie I brought up in '67? Countdown? Come on now. Same thing, gang.
Go fishing. Here, baby. Let me get your tray. Here, get up there and sit down so I can get your tray. Well, he changed his name. What do you remember what he changed his name to? Really quick, buddy.
Oh, man. What did I say it was? I thought it was kind of funny. Let me rewind here. I can find out. Get on my lawn. Red profile picture, some kind of dragon head looking thing, red and black and yellow. Get on my lawn. Playing around with the username, he said. On YouTube shit.
Appreciate y'all watching on YouTube. This is cool. Oh, sorry. Did you get the name? Oh, sorry. I'll even type it. Get on my lawn.
First watch it on YouTube. This is cool.
Or something, like a dragon.
Oh, sorry.
Instead of
Did you get the name?
On my lawn.
No.
Oh, sorry. I'll even type it. Get on my lawn. Red profile picture of a head or something, like a dragon.
Okay, let me see.
Instead of off, it's get on my lawn.
Get.
I think so. Just gotta move the tablet over here. It'll be fine.
Okay, well, I thought I had him, but apparently I don't.
Well, surely one of them guys have him, and they could send it back to him. If he wants to try again, I'll let you go. I'll remain silent. But I just, I don't know
That close to each other.
how this is
Angles to the sun.
exclusive to their model. How could people that close to each other have different angles to the sun?
Different viewing spots. It's kind of like, say we're standing at the beach, and you know, I'm gonna look up towards the sun. I'm gonna see the reflection on the water. Say you're, 500 feet off to my right. You look up, you're gonna see the sun, and you're gonna see your own reflection meeting you. It's kind of the same thing, kind of like,
Without sounding stupid or trying to sound stupid, I'm going to ask you a question about these corpuscular rays. If you took the cloud away, what would be behind that cloud?
Well, if you're wanting to try to see, are you wanting to try to see that?
I want to see what's causing the rays.
Yeah, it's sun shining through the clouds.
Yeah, but what would be behind the cloud? The sun, right?
Right.
Exactly. So those corpuscular rays are pointing to the source of the light shining through the clouds.
Right. So it's like I was gonna, say to Eva, when a car passes you on the straightaway, right? You're on a straightaway, say it's flat, say it's level, say it's straight, right? Mm-hmm. The car passes you. As that car gets further and further away from you, that car is going to appear to get smaller. We all know, though, that the car isn't actually getting smaller, though, right? But it's going to appear to get smaller until it reaches that vanishing point, right? And then eventually...
The limits of your eye, right? The limits of your vision. Sure.
Right, due to perspective, yes, and how our vision works. And eventually, that car will continue to go and go and go until we can't see it no more.
But we know it didn't change size and it only moved further away. I mean... Right. We're not going to listen to somebody who says, no, it disappeared.
Right.
No, it didn't.
It's up there somewhere, right?
Yeah.
I mean, now say that was the sun, right? Okay, say that car went up, however much, and that car came to a stop. Okay, now imagine it being the sun, right? With the crepuscular rays and the anti-crepuscular rays. We would be able to pinpoint about where that car is, sorta. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Now that is on the ground, so it would be easier to do that, not in the sky, but you would know exactly where that vanishing point is and be able to go off of it in the other, in the opposite way. If I'm making any sense, I'm trying to bring this down like layman's, way of, describing it.
Appreciate that.
However, if the sun was 93 million miles away, the rays that are coming down from, like what you see in his picture, should be more parallel. Okay, and you shouldn't be seeing anti-crepuscular rays.
Yeah, these clouds tell us more than what we're talking about. I mean, it's pinpointing the source.
It's just like Sadie. It's just like Sadie says. It's all based on vanishing point. If you're on the sun's on the western side of the flat Earth, and you're on the eastern side, you're gonna see you're at the vanishing point side. So it's gonna be anti-crepuscular when you see the sun rays. It just depends on where you're at.
Crepuscular rays a lot. All the time in my life I've been looking at them. We all have. Not really thought about them too much, but when the crepuscular rays, they're right over our heads, we see them. We know the sun's right behind it. We just know. Common sense. The sun's behind those clouds.
Doesn't rain one try.
But I would like to see a time lapse of the sun moving away with crepuscular rays. You know what I mean? Like, the crepuscular rays would go with the sun moving across the sky. Does that make sense? Like those crepuscular rays that I see.
It doesn't move fast enough, man. It'd have to go a lot faster to be able to see something like that.
Yeah, but they do time lapse and stuff with stars and get star trails and stuff like that. I'm just saying, take a picture every hour and see where those crepuscular rays are. Wouldn't that show that the sun is local and moving across the sky? When I see crepuscular rays, I don't see them all over the sky. I see them in one local area. And I know right behind those clouds is the sun, because when the clouds move out of the way, the sun's there.
Can you explain to me why that they're doing work on ABC News right now on the the International Space Station, going 17,000 but yet they're moving 17,000 miles an hour. So there's no motion whatsoever except them moving around. So how is that possible? That you're not going to feel the effect of 17,000 miles an hour?
Yet the G-force rotating thing is 78 miles an hour. Orbiting whatever. Tell that to the G-force guys. Shoot.
I just love how NASA doesn't have to explain motion. Like, they can just say it's moving that fast, but there's no motion. We're not seeing any motion, but according to them, that's how fast they're going. How do you get away with that? And people just believe it. They don't even question it.